Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I need to remember to add a gap from when I hit switch,
Vegas.
and then there's Vegas, because it always messes me up when I trim it down in the YouTube VOD. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Our first 2 weeks in a row of 2020.
Oof.
Because apparently none of us like football.
F.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Okay. Just no Patriots.
We're not.
None of our teams are playing, though.
None of our teams are playing. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I want to point out that was within reach of where I'm streaming. Like,
I'm a variable football fan. It depends which family I'm with.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I find football is more enjoyable as a community activity. So I've enjoyed live games, like going to games, but I don't tend to watch it on television.
Where I live,
And it's not my favorite sport.
We have a
I do
basketball
it because
team.
of the food.
We have a basketball team where I live, and I always hated watching basketball, but I went to a live game and there was no announcer, and it was a lot more fun.
Yeah. Basketball is actually
super fun in person.
super fun live.
Yeah. Anyway,
Same with baseball.
if anyone's tuning in or simply having us in the background so they can catch us, and then stop listening to us every time the announcer says, "Let's see the instant replay." Thanks for joining us. And if you're not a football fan, thanks for joining us as well, because I'm not really either. So, hey. And if you're just watching this on the YouTube channel or on the Twitch VOD, or even on the Mixer VOD, hello.
Thank you.
How's the future?
Hello, God damn it! I was say hello from the past.
Nerds.
I don't know why you gotta be hurtful. Also, hi, Blinky. So last week, a lot of things happened. For one, Agnar is now king of Bjorn Mars. Also, hi, Sailor.
He's king of the North.
No.
Oh.
No. There are 6 different human nations in the North. He's king of one of them. So let's be sure.
Wait, there's 6?
Damn.
Yeah.
Snap your
there's
fingers,
3
Logan.
better folk nations and there's 3 Malud folk nations.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I
then
was
there's the
my
Fjell
brain-
folk.
My brain was only saying Barra-folk, because they're the only ones who count.
Well,
And if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, in the lore of the Fjell folk, there's even dwarves.
Of the North? There
Yeah,
are dwarf.
I think so.
There are mountain dwarves in the North. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, the Goliaths.
Yes.
Notebook.
The Goliath Online. All right. Well, now that we've done our little
Geography?
very vague lore dive, let's get back to the plot. So Agnar is now king of Bjorn Mars, and shortly upon becoming elected king, someone used one of the bolt holes that had been carved into the walls that Agnar and crew had ordered to be watched. They caught the person trying to use it, and they interrogated him. This led them to learn that there was basically a cell working inside Suderhofen that was aligned with the armies of Endfrost that were actively trying to sabotage the city. After joining forces with the dwarven bounty hunter named Salt, well, his nickname, that's not his given name, but that's what he goes by in the city, Salt. They tracked down. Actually, they didn't even have Salt, but when you guys tracked down the Night Garm, right? You guys did that on your own, yeah. So they tracked down a creature called a Night Garm, which is similar to a werewolf, although they're not weres.
We didn't have to track it down so much as we got the exact location by absolutely obliterating.
Right. There was some intense, mature audience-only interrogation scenes with lots of torture and then breaking of hands. It was really brutal.
Then there was an almost
Things
nuke.
burning.
Oh, that's right. And then Blight happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually they learned the location of the Night Garm, and they confronted it and killed it, along with 2 more of its spawn. Then they teamed up with Salt to figure out help him kind of survey the scene because none of them are good at investigation. And Salt is a bounty hunter by trade and very astute. He determined that what Hakan, I believe. I think Hakan, you were the ones who noticed the grooves in the stone.
Well, the brown fur and
I was.
the blood. I think Akulu is the one that found.
I found the grooves.
Yeah.
Then I found the fur and blood.
Okay, that's why I was confused because you were the last one, and my memory sucks. So he determined that those grooves were holding a cage that was brought in via chains from the river. They hoisted up by chains, and that the cage was discarded at the bottom of the river, directly beneath the cave. This cave is situated underneath one of the bridges, just out of sight. It is determined that a creature... You guys know what kind of creature? I don't want to give you spoilers on action.
All we know is
we assumed bear. Because Salt very explicitly said that was brown bear fur.
Right.
Yeah, we assumed bear.
So a bear of some kind was brought into the city. And again, I don't want to give any spoilers because obviously I have all the information. What do you guys believe the bear was here to do?
We were told that. Okay, so the Night Guard, the Red Mother, or whatever the hell she was called, she was there to set up some form of explosives within the cellar of the Iron Hall, and at the sounding of the horn, she was going to blow it up, and that was the sounding of the horn was when the forces of the Ice Queen are coming in, and then the bear was supposedly a gift for the king, and it was supposed to kill the king, but now they had to kind of change plans up because, well, the king
is dead. Long live the king.
Dead, long live the king.
Yeah. Okay. So in order to lure out this bear assassin, the party is putting on a welcome Agnar to being king feast for the whole city in the Thang Square. And that is hopefully going to draw out the assassin, who is also a bear. It's been a long 2 days. Oh, speaking of a long 2 days, if anyone watches my Saturday streams and wondering what the hell happened, I had horrible computer issues. And I don't want to get into, but they're solved. For now. Hopefully forever. So, Saturdays, we'll be back next Saturday. Sparring any more computer issues. So, are you guys ready to get back into it?
Indeed.
Was the feast tomorrow night so you can get everything arranged?
Correct, because what is her name? Iron Hall.
Ragnhild.
Ragnhild got very, very upset at me when I said let's do it tonight.
And I needed a long rest.
Yeah.
Just gotta throw that out there.
Yeah.
I did.
And I think Bernhardt. Actually, I think all of the spellcasters in the group could use it.
Okay.
I might have dumped all of mine into smites against the king.
I used 2 spells, so
yeah, he's fine.
All right. Are you guys benefit from a long rest? So anyone who needs to heal and whatnot. I just like to keep a running tally of what events happen and what days, just for my own.
Yeah. No, that is a smart thing to do that I, as a DM, should learn to do.
Okay, I should
notice that Twitch Bits is putting that freaking text on the overlay again. There it is. All right, I figured out how to make it work.
Calendars are a wonderful thing as a DM.
Especially in a very narrative-driven one where you want to keep track of the passage of time, yes. And seasons and moon phases. You know, all those things that definitely are unneeded.
Sarcasm. Hey, you never know. It adds a lot of realism.
You guys got rid of the bolt holes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we after Dude Bro with the weird slit eyes, we had him We had them sealed up.
Got it. Does anyone want to do anything during the day for the feast?
It is leg day, and Agnar never skips leg day.
Got it.
God, I believe that about Agnar.
I might relay information to the Fjellfolk camp just because it might have been impacted by those weird creatures that seems to take over the appearance of people, from what I understand. And just ask the MAC leaders to check for any people that would be behaving a little bit out of the ordinary.
Okay. My kids are watching Phineas and Ferb nonstop. There's like
That's a fun show.
There's like a reoccurring character who always goes, "Okay," and everything. And I just thought of that when I said "okay." Little trivia about my life.
I will not assault your ears with my Doofenshmirtz voice.
Please don't.
Ooh, I smell a new character. I should kill Agnar.
God damn it.
Who knows? He's a king, so it's likely to happen.
Let me tell you about my tragic backstory. If anyone hasn't seen Phineas and Ferb, immediately after this stream, go watch Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
At least the part where he explains how.
Area.
At least the part where Doofenshmirtz explains how he was born, how dramatic his birth was.
Anyway, we're playing
Never
D&D.
had
We're
any
playing
people
D&D.
in my life.
So, what do you got? Okay? Leg day for Agnar. What about the rest of you?
I mean, I'm probably trying to conduct business as usual.
How is business going now that so many things have transpired and there's so many like the streets are packed with people? Is that helping business?
My hope would be that it's helping business because everyone's got some ailment and I have some mineral oil.
And Akulu has developed a bit of a reputation as a badass, I would hope.
I mean, I would hope so, but
A
you know, some
competent
people might not like that.
Well, then if they're like, oh, well, I can't do business with you because you're a badass, you could be like, or I could just kill you where you stand.
Yeah, that's not what I'm gonna do because I'm associated with you now. That's a good way to get Agnar killed. But I am going to try and conduct some business and pretend things are normal.
Okay.
Is my goal.
And then Hakan was sending messages to the Great Mocked, making sure they know what's going on. And is Bernhardt got anything he wants to do during the day out of the ordinary, I should say?
He would be continuing his training in learning magic under Aku, which is probably just him doing an actual lot of like medicine work, legit medicine work. And the mineral oil doesn't work.
No, I'm selling fake medicine, but he's there to like make me seem legit.
Do you have two beakers and over a burner, and you're like wax in, wax out, wax in, wax out?
No, I'm definitely gonna allow him to do his actual work because then people will be like, "Wow, Aakulu's shop really worked." It's anecdotal evidence, but and then I'll give them like a little baggie of rocks and tell them to carry it with them, and then be like, "By the way, you have to renew these rocks every 2 weeks. You can come here and I'll charge them for an extra fee,
Subscription fee." Got it.
Yeah. Forced obsolescence.
You're sending the raw recruits off to carry boxes of ST1s. Got it.
So what I'm hearing
Anyway.
is Akulu is using Bernhardt to swindle people.
Yeah, I mean that's been my whole job.
Cool. Any special preparations for tonight? Leg day notwithstanding.
I mean, a nice long warm bath, maybe a fresh braid in the beard.
No.
I'm kind of trusting that the NPCs are gonna know how to keep control of the crowds, and that as king, I don't have to worry about that. That is totally fitting with Agnar's character.
Okay.
As a
Yeah, everything's
Not-
gonna be fine. I mean, this is just gonna work out great. This is an awesome plan.
my real life human self thinks, wow, we should make set a trap Scooby Doo style. But I know my character self would not do that. So that's where I'm at. She doesn't have the intelligence for it.
I swear, if this combat encounter doesn't devolve into us running through random doors in a hallway now, I'm going to be very upset.
Why would you do this? Why would you set us up for failure like that?
I'm just saying. Just saying.
It's fine. It doesn't matter how Vegas feels.
Cool. Anyone else? I just don't want to start. I don't want to kick things off with you guys feeling like you didn't get a chance to prepare.
Did we want Fjellfolk at the feast as security?
Well, I mean, invite them in to eat as well. This is a celebration.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So
He's the king now.
As preparation, I'll invite the Fjellfolk. Tell them to try and not make too much of a fuss if the Bearfolk are a little bit fussy about it. But they're invited.
All right.
Should they want to join?
So we got a retinue of Fjellfolk at the festivities here to celebrate armed. Okay. If there's nothing more, we'll go to that night. So, the hunters come in with have gone out all day to bring fresh game for the feast. There's pretty much any animal you could think of in the nearby woods. And I assume you guys are chuckling at something said in Discord.
Yes.
I'm starting to feel like maybe, like something in my beard or...
No, you're fine.
Got
PR's
it.
just goofing.
PR goof? Alright. So there's lots of meat and bread, but there's not a whole lot else. You guys are on winter rations. And unfortunately, this feast, in order to draw out the assassin, is dipping into your stores quite a bit. But if it works, hopefully it'll be worth it. People have come from within the city and from the newly built refugee housing, basically, on the outer walls. And, of course, some of the Fjellfolk have come. Every major player of the city is present. The thing square is packed with people, overflowing. There's not enough tables and chairs. They're spilling out into the streets and nearby alleys. And of course, there's also the Iron Hall itself is going to be filled with people. But the food is all outside. So Ragnhild has servers bringing trays from the outside back into the Iron Hall. She doesn't look like she's having a good time. But at the end of the day, she'll count her coin and be quite pleased. Obviously, Agnar is situated on a sort of raised stage with the Thing prominently behind him.
His retinue. Agnar, would you want your retinue also on the stage table?
Yeah.
Or would you like us disperse through the crowd?
Probably the smarter of the two options, which would be obviously disperse through the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. So up there with you is your sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm. And Alva.
And Alva.
Oh,
Your
also,
sister-in-law's name.
did we manage to...
Sigrun, thank you.
Did we manage to sway over any of the king's Huskarls, or did they have to, like...
I mean, they could stay in town. We're not going to go kill all of the former kings.
Well, so far, it hasn't been an issue.
Okay. Well, I mean,
You
the,
killed
the
him.
offer would have been extended.
Right. I mean, you killed him in the square. It was all above board by the laws of the Barrowfolk. And then you were elected,
Which is why
even
I should
though
have been allowed to kill.
the election was done with only one Jarl present, an unelected Jarl, mind you. So, yeah. But I don't think any of the Huskarls is going to be like, man, screw this. I'm leaving the safest place in my country.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So it's a huge rip-roaring feast. There's a live band, lots of percussions.
Anyone who's anyone is there.
Yes. Basically, anyone who can push past anyone else is there too.
Those are the only people who matter to the Verifolk anyway.
Everyone who isn't Agnar, give me perception checks.
Akulu just flexing.
What did I do?
You got +1 on me.
Yeah. Well, it's that darn proficiency again.
I guess check that. Okay, so Hakan and Akulu. You guys are surveying the crowd for about an hour. And you notice that aside from the Huskarls and the Fjellfolk, there are a dozen or more. It's kind of hard to get a solid head count in the crowd of individuals who are not only carrying weapons, which is not entirely unnormal, but they are also armored.
Like a dozen or so is what you said?
At least a dozen. Again, it's hard to get a head count, especially since they're wearing helmets and armor, and so they kind of look interchangeable.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Bernhardt, you are questioning the wisdom of putting you in the crowd to scan around because you are at everyone's hips,
Knees.
and it's hard to see much of anything.
Seeing a lot of belts.
Yeah.
Well, Akon would like to shuffle through the crowd and go check them. Check one of them out at least.
Alright, you're just gonna kind of walk up to them? Or you just
I want to be more
look?
sneaky than that. But I do want to go in for a closer look. Just more sneaky.
Yeah, Hakon is not sneaky. Like, he's gonna shuffle through the crowd, and being like a head taller than everyone, it's probably easy to, like, you know, move away, move aside, move away. And he's gonna get closer to the armored folk and give them a better look from up close.
I want to inquire on whether or not the armor is like Naaman-esque. I would be familiar with the appearance of that.
Alright. Kulu, I'm not gonna make you roll anything for that. They are wearing Northman armor.
Okay.
And both you and Hakan... Oh, actually, Hakan was kind of getting sussing the man themselves, where Akulu was just looking for that kind of telltale signs of Naaman armor, which looks drastically different from Northman armor.
Yeah. I just want to know whether or not they belong here, but my first guess was Naaman, yeah.
Okay. Hakan, you do notice that these individuals, these armored individuals throughout the crowd, most of them are not wearing any colors of their Thane. So
that's what I was going to ask next.
That is to say that they are operating as, or they're presenting themselves as free people that don't have any association. However, some of them are wearing matching sets of colors that don't match any of the Thanes, Jarls, Kings present.
I'm not quite sure that Takon would have spent enough time to pick up on the fact that those are not, like, they have colors but might not belong to a Thane. However, Hakon has the idea that they could be undead people, because we haven't solved that mystery yet. So was there a telltale sign beside the like, you know, peeled lips and whatnot that the other guys had, like a gray blue skin or something like that he could try and
They did
identify
have
these guys?
yes, they had in fact gray blue skin. They also had eyes that burned like blue coals and white hair.
Do they have something like that? Does Akon notice something?
You get close enough to register that at least the ones you can get close enough to in the shortest amount of time all appear to be of the living. You also,
Okay.
I don't know if Akon would know this, but obviously New Guy would know this. If you really want to get a check, you just shoot a message to Agnar to drop a spell slot, and he'd figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah. of
Yeah.
course, but
It's not even a spell slot.
Oh, it's just something you can do, right?
Yep.
Who am I thinking of that you have to spend a spell slot to do it? What class is that? Anyway.
Probably like
You're
if you're thinking of like detect.
Ranger, Primeval Awareness, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to actually get a better look at these guys and investigate them.
Alright, with a 15 investigation, you can see that you once again spot, like a con there, that some of them are wearing matching colors that don't match any of the lords that sit in the tables at Modus Bond during the war meetings. You also can tell that most of them are well fed. And you spot a trio of them acting as an entourage for an individual who is also wearing armor and wearing those same colors, but is presenting himself as a person of higher standing.
I've been living amongst the Bara folk for a while. Would I be able to roll history to determine if I've seen those colors, just even vaguely, in a location from traveling?
Yes, you can. In fact, you can roll it because of your profession in the city. I'll let you roll it with advantage.
Nice, because I have no additions to this roll.
A 17. You recognize the man himself through description, though you've never seen him personally. But you recognize that his colors and those that are wearing his colors are basically private security. The equivalent of for the Northmen. He's not a Thane, but he holds significant property and wealth in order to have his own...
So that would be someone I'm concerned with, yeah.
Yes, and his name is Thalfty.
Oh.
Well, at this point, Hakon would probably be about as sneaky and...
Sorry, I do want to put one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I believe Thalfty is not a Thane, but he is a Herser. And a Herser is basically like a lower ranked lord, whereas a Thane is like a lord with a military might, and a Herser is someone like runs a town or province. Hey, UK Hammers, welcome to stream.
So Hakon, being as like very sneaky and discreet as he is, and not having the information that Akulu has, would simply like get close to one of the closest guard or private security, so to speak, and say, "Who are you, and why are you armed and dressed like this?" And
he looks at you, he's like, "I'm Cody, Baldur's son. And is this not to honor Agnar?" And he raises his mug, thrusting it in the general direction of the thing.
I find you wearing armor a little bit clashing with the rest of the crowd, who do not seem to expect battle.
Aren't you wearing armor?
Yes, but I'm a Fjellfolk.
Yeah. and that is actually what he's going to say. He says, well, some of us take after our Fjellfolk neighbors and like to be prepared for anything. Plus, whenever there's a party with one of the sons of Runar or their sons, there's often a fight.
Yeah, that's a satisfactory answer. So Akon's just simply gonna nod and say, "Yes, indeed, I've noticed that there's plenty of fights happening whenever there's a large crowd of people. Usually ends up in the square, I believe they call it. Yeah."
He nods and he says, And if there's a brawl, I like to be ready. My wife wouldn't have it any other way.
And I'm assuming you're from the same crowd as the other ones wearing?
You went up to the one who had the colors?
I just went to the closest one, so sure, one with color.
Well, it matters. Because he looks at it, he's kind of got like a top kilt, which is basically like a sash. And he looks down and he's like, "Oh yes, I work for the Herser Thalfti."
Out of character, I think Akon has heard and about Taft. Don't remember. Was there any occasion where Tafty would have been mentioned while Akon was?
I'll just say that Thalfti has been mentioned on stream, but your character wasn't present.
Okay, well then that's it for Akon. You're just going to engage in typical discussion with this man. There's nothing weird for him.
Okay. Kula, as you make your way to Agnar, Bernhardt, is there anything you want to do? I know you're not really aware of what's going on, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to do something.
Bernhardt is deep into conversation about a man's ornately carved
belt buckle. Yeah, you cut out.
Yep.
But I saw your message. So cool. All right, Bernhardt. All right, Kulu, you kind of wave down. Probably Gyrdis is standing watch near the stage, and she sees you approaching and waving, and she turns and she steps up onto the stage and walks over behind Agnar and whispers, Kulu is coming.
Right. Oh, okay.
So here comes Kulu.
Yeah, and I approach.
And Agnar, Akulu's not much of a hugger, I presume. So Agnar is total, like, as Akulu approaches, just gonna be like, come on, yeah.
Ilva is noticeably embarrassed by her uncle. She just kind of like looks away and starts drinking.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Oh no, she doesn't know the rule. If you look embarrassed after a hug, you're gonna get a hug. She did the worst thing possible.
It was a high five.
High five, yeah.
But it was high five in lieu of hug because Agnar respects personal space.
Well, that being what it
Agnar's my
is.
favorite youth pastor. Right?
I mean, he's a paladin.
May or may not have been part of the character development process.
Yeah. I'll tell you stories later.
He's definitely a coach at a private school.
Yeah, for sure. So what you said, it's not, the word wasn't like Lord, but he's Lord
Herser.
adjacent.
I'll type it.
Herser, yeah. Okay. A Herser I did not expect has a retinue of fully dressed soldiers.
And they don't typically. Normally, if they have a retinue of soldiers, they are Thanes.
Yeah. I just thought I would make you aware that maybe wild animal isn't the only threat we should expect today. We did just kind of put a juicy target on your back.
I mean, that was kind of the idea.
It was the plan, yes.
What does Agnar know of this individual?
Of Thalfti?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we can recall from sessions past, he's a newcomer to the city, so it's probably not a name that Agnar's familiar with at all.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I mean, yeah, let's and I'll motion for one of the Huskarls.
Well, I mean, Gyrdis is right there, so she's like,
oh, yeah. Gyrdis, do me a solid and head on back down with Kulu here. She's going to point out an individual that we're going to want to keep eyes on.
Do we want to ingratiate ourselves, make him feel welcome, and see what his game is? Or are you just gonna like kind of go in with a buff woman with a sword and demand to know what's happening?
Well, I mean, let's not make it obvious that we're putting eyes on him. He hasn't done anything unbecoming yet, has he?
No. Jakin, you said as a herser, he's just kind of a person with a lot of money.
Or land. Usually land.
Or land.
Typically, a herser runs like a village or a hamlet or a farmstead.
Yeah. Do you think... Well, how to like phrase it? Has he ever struck Aakalu as the kind of person who just wants everyone to think he's the bee's knees?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. I can do that.
I feel like the mixer chat is evaluating if Agnar is worthy of being king.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm loving it.
I'm okay with it. 19. You actually get the impression that this man is not very honorable. Several of his hersers, of his huskarls, for lack of a better term, his hired swords,
his thugs,
have asked for poisons. Relatively mild. Obviously, you don't sell the stuff that can come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's obvious that they are muscling around the city.
Perfect. That's so easy to manipulate. I mean, cool. I'll Agnar, I think it is smart to keep an eye out. Allow me to address his needs and make him feel like you are recognizing his importance in Suderhofen.
So you got a lot of new people. I'm gonna run through the stat block so they can get a look at your just the basics of your characters. Starting with the king.
I don't even know how to respond to the last one.
All right, well,
Agnar, can you respond to the character that just told you a thing?
Let's do in character stuff first, and then please address chat after.
So wait, what specifically was addressed to me then?
What
did I miss?
I was asking you if you would allow Aakalu to just kind of solo mission, make this guy feel like you are giving him special attention because he's so important to Suderhofen. Do you trust me?
Absolutely. No, I trust you. It's I don't know if I trust him.
No, that's why I was gonna go do it.
No, I understand that. Yes, but let's also, I mean, obviously make sure that we're keeping eyes on while this is going down.
Yes, I just think walking up with Big Lady with Sword is going to hurt my cause. If they could just hold back.
Yeah. No. 100% agreed. Let's keep the eyes a little bit distant while this interaction is happening. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this particular approach, but when in Suderhofen.
Thank you. Cool. So I'm gonna go down alone to address this guy.
Okay. When you're answering chat, just remember we are 18 plus on Mixer, but I can still get in trouble on Twitch. So
right.
Just be gracious, chat. Be gracious. All right. So you're gonna head over to Mr. Thalfty.
Yes. Also, just to put this out there, the beliefs and views of our characters and the things they express are not shared by the players and cast members. Just because I know I, as Aakalu, do a lot of bad things that make make Cattywampus feel very bad.
And what's the other thing? Any similarities to actual existing people?
All right, guys,
Living or dead.
Coincidence?
let's get back
Yeah.
to the
So yes, I
situation at
approached
hand.
Salty. Hakon, were you doing anything in particular? I feel like I've had a lot of time.
Well, unless you come and grab Akon, no, because at this point Akon has been diffused by the answers of the armored guy he talked to, and at this point he's probably in talking with a guy about like fights and what he's seen and so on and so forth. He's diffused.
Personally, I would enjoy if Hakon had eyes on my sitch just in case.
Well, if you pass by and say like, "Hey, just in case I get in trouble," look, he will. But until then, he might not even realize that you're doing it.
And if anyone wants to find Bernhardt, I will require a perception check.
But me, do I get advantage? Because I might see a hole in the crowd where there's a missing person. I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, he might be there.
Yeah, Hakon's got advantage.
It's really amusing.
Yeah, I'll go handle Thofty. I don't want to distract anyone from keeping an eye out for the bear thing that we're expecting. Like Thofty's an unexpected twist, but he's not what we laid the trap for. I don't want to draw resources away.
Oh yeah, I would like to point out based on what Akulu said, Akon is in discussion with this armored guy, but he keeps an eye out for the bear. Like he just doesn't care about the armored people anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's go ahead. Akulu, go ahead and you approach Alfty.
Okay. Am I able to approach, or is his crew pretty uptight?
I mean, it's a big party.
Raylath was not a spy.
I think we've confirmed that Raylath was a spy.
Raylath just happens to love his home country and was brought back to life there.
He was spy adjacent. Is that what you're going with?
Raylath was honest when he got home and asked
you approached Salty.
May or may not have had spy on his resume at one point.
Anyway, no, I'm just going to introduce. So I'm going to just approach him and be like, "Hello, I am Aakulu, close friend to our new king. He has sent me as an emissary to ensure that you are comfortable at this celebration."
Oh, yeah, the city's witch. I've heard a lot about you.
Yes, well, I've met some of your men before. Hello, familiar faces. And I'm just here to help you get comfortable and make sure you have a good position here. If you wanted any extra food or some drink service.
Did the king send you?
Yes. Yes.
Now that you mention it, I would very much like to speak with the king.
Oh, and you, if you'd like, I could ask him if you might have some audience. Would you just mind giving me a brief overview of what the situation is?
Oh, of course. As you can see by my lads here, I have armed a sizable amount of people who have sworn loyalty to me.
Yes, you have your own little militia.
Yes, well, as the city is expanding with all these displaced better folk, I was wondering if I might become Thane of a district of my own. I'm willing to put forth the money to build a longship.
That would be amazing. The growth of Suderhoffen, of course, is something we should always be concerned with, even in times of great distress. Allow me to bring your request to the king and see if he's willing to have or even just schedule a meeting one-on-one.
That would be appreciated, certainly.
Wonderful. So I'll kind of retreat back to Agnar, obviously.
All right.
mean, is now the time to be doing that?
Oh, I think he'd rather just set up a meeting, and his men are here in force to show that he has them.
Oh. Um. Sure. Let's set that meeting up. I mean, every extra body we can get right now is helpful. I mean,
We don't share any languages other than Northman, do we?
Agnar doesn't speak anything but Northman.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm just gonna get real close and try to be discreet then. I will be honest. I know he has a reputation for questionable proclivities, activities, however you would like to say it. But we did have a guy build a bolt hole, and he's still allowed to be pretty powerful. So I think keeping an eye on this man, but letting him have this would greatly help our chances in the coming battles.
As the two of you speak, the camera is slowly dollying out. And our view of the two of you start to become obscured by passersby in the festivities, until eventually we fall to a low shot, waist down, of a guy with horribly scratched, freshly bleeding scratches all over his forearm and hand. And he snaps over and starts furiously scratching. And as he does, his skin kind of starts to flake off at an alarming rate. And he starts to walk forward, and brown hair starts to come out of his wounds. And his boots start to bend and expand and buckle and snap. And then his pants start to swell. And as this is happening, we start to bring the camera up from the dolly about head level. And he's getting larger and hairier. And we can hear him snarling. So there's definitely, he's salivating. And Geertis hoists her shield up, readies her spear, and steps between him and the stage. And before she can say a word as she opens her mouth, this man explodes into a very large bear. But this isn't just some ordinary bear. It's covered in self-inflicted wounds. And its back fur, intermixed with the fur itself, is a row of porcupine spines, large enough to accommodate him. Like he's some bear porcupine mix the size of a horse. And as he bursts into this form, with his paws disarm Geertis, and his jaw closes in around her head and engulfs it. And he crunches, and blood shoots out.
Okay, rewind. Wait, what? No, I was just beginning to really, really like her. You asshole!
So mean! Not Geertis.
I mean, she's dead now.
No.
Oh!
Oh.
All right, chat. Enough questions. We're getting into the heat of it.
Yeah, combat's about to happen. So
But we'll have to answer character questions later, for sure.
As Agnar and Akulu hear this discomforting sound, and Agnar looks past Akulu to see his family's most trusted Huskarl slain, and this massive hulking bear rising up, lifting her body off the ground. Hakan, suddenly the man you're talking with turns as if he hears a sound and then draws his sword and immediately strikes the person beside you. Reflexively, you raise Wei Shi's regard and then just fell him. But all around you, chaos is erupting as armed warriors are drawing their blades and striking in a seemingly at random.
Well, that's interesting. That puts me in a very tight position because I heard the noise too. Or
Well, I don't know how close you are from the stage. You may not have been able to hear the crunch.
Okay, well, in that case, if I haven't heard the crunch, I will. Oh my god! I guess I'll hunt the armored people that drew their weapons and attacked. Or is it just like any people just drew their weapons are starting to attack?
It seems
Anybody?
to be the armored people. However, you notice that even though the one guy who you were talking to, who just kind of struck at the person randomly, was wearing the Thalfty colors, it appears that the people in Thalfty colors are fighting the unmarked armed warriors. And it's kind of hard to see what's really going on. But you do turn your attention to the stage, and your view of the king is obscured by this hulking bear.
Okay, well, if I see it, that's my target. Like, instantly.
And Bernhard, even from your low stature, you are become alerted quite quickly to the bear's presence.
And also the fact that just chaos is
like,
turning around him as people are.
The whole courtyard is just kind of erupting in chaos, exactly.
Okay. Hold on, I might be doing something immediately. Or are we going to be rolling for initiative?
If you want to do something immediately, do so.
Okay, I just got to check the wording on it. Let me just go to my class features.
I love when PR checks wordings.
I did want to know. I was going to look pretty much immediately over at Thalfty to see what was happening with his boys. So you said just generally the same thing, that they're vaguely fighting folks who are people, or?
Well, I don't know if Alkulu can pay much attention to anything beyond the bear.
But yeah, it is pretty close up. Okay.
So once again, Bernhardt shouts enough as kind of like the Gandalf darkening happens around him, and everyone within 30 feet of me needs to make wisdom saving throw.
All right, everyone within 30 feet of you fails.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna roll 100 d20s. Fuck you.
I mean, you can just roll 1d20.
No. This is more fun.
So they all drop what is in their hands. So whether it be weapons, food, drinks, drop, and they're all just staring at Bernhardt, and he's just like, okay, so this is where we just calm down, and maybe just, if you're not evil, just flee. It seems that there's something going on here. Yeah, just hi. And he's just gonna wait to see what's going on, because he was talking with this gentleman about his very nice belt buckle, just really deep
His
into
accessories.
it. It's a family heirloom. Talking about his family, getting used to the history, and then just chaos erupts around him. So his first initial thought is, all right, need to calm everyone down for 6 seconds. Just everyone take a 6-second timeout.
Yeah, all right. So Bernhardt pacifies a 60 diameter swath of the audience, 60 foot diameter, and then I think we're going to go ahead and go into to initiative. I don't have a battle map for this because it's just a big crowd. I will say that your characters can choose to engage other things, but you, the party, are primarily focused on the bear right now. Your Huskarls are moving in to deal with the rest of the chaos. So since I won't have a battle
Fair
map,
enough.
we're just gonna have the turn order be on top of the chat. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so we have to roll initiative the old-fashioned way.
Let me go ahead and throw you guys on an old battle map, and then you guys can use that.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. 22.
What up?
Oh yeah, Agnar, you're finally
As
in on
my
the action
usual
with a 21.
5.
Attack on's at 5.
Oh, I got a 22.
God damn it!
I'm faster though.
All right.
Dang. Sorry, Bernie rolled a 23 for those listening at home. Another perfect 20. Guys, if I had rolled a 20, I would have gotten a 27.
All right. Kulu, you will go before the bear. And Bernhardt, you're up. Okay, so Bernhardt and Hakan, just for the sake of expediency, you are both approximately 30 feet from the bear. However, because of the denseness of the crowd, every step you take is difficult terrain.
Okay, but I can actually
Exactly.
see the bear through the crowd because
Yes. I mean, you did just
level.
clear the way because you made everyone kind of bow down
Chill
to your
out.
order.
Oh no, they dropped their weapons and then turned towards me. So it's not like they're bowing or anything. They're just
Okay.
focused on.
Okay.
So it's like children of the corn kind of stuff.
Despite that, you can see the savager, the bear.
Okay. Okay. I was not ready for this jelly. Um. Can I see my companion? They're all. Well, I'm assuming I can see them. Actually, I guess the better question
Agnar
is.
and Kulu were speaking on a raised platform, so if you can see the bear, I reckon you can see them. I don't know if you can see Hakan. Not that much taller than everyone else.
Okay, the question I should have asked is: are they all within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Oh, that was not the answer. Oh wait, because I don't know if this is going to.
Oh, actually, no. Only Hakan's within 30 feet of you. You'd have to move closer. Not that you wouldn't have to move that far. Maybe 10 more feet to get everybody.
Yeah, it's immediate. So he's going to grab the pendant around his neck, this Ouroboros, as a gray ring slowly starts to expand from it. Like it's as if he's pulling off this gray ring that expands into a larger, almost like frisbee or like chakram kind of ring, which he throws towards this bear. And he says, "Fight against it all you want, but you cannot go against the order of things. And I need the bear to, assuming it falls under this category, to make a wisdom saving throw, I think."
And this spell is hold person. Is that only targets a certain type of a humanoid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, it
Yeah,
is not a humanoid.
It was a shot in the dark.
Okay.
So the ring just kind of like
Passes
scatters
through
across
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is not what I was hoping for. So and that is pretty much it.
Do you want to?
No,
move closer?
no. But they're still not within 30 feet of me. No, I don't want. Definitely don't want to move closer. But you said I can, if I move 10 feet or 20 feet.
10 feet. If you move 10 feet, everyone in your party is within 30 feet.
But it's difficult terrain, so it's actually 20 feet.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
20 feet of your movement.
Okay. So I will move 20 feet of my movement, and then I'm going to burn a use of my awesome little ability to cast Bless as a.
You just cast a spell.
Bonus action.
What?
You can't cast 2 spells in one round.
Oh, it has to be cantrip?
You can cast a cantrip in a spell, but you can't cast a spell in a
Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I've double checked that. And I can't remember who it was who said that Wizards of the Coast actually didn't limit spells if you could cast.
Well, it's they limit the other spell if you cast something above cantrip as a bonus action first. But I'm cool with that. Then I'll just move 10 feet, and that'll be it.
Okay. Yeah. My understanding from the player's handbook, it was quite clear. But we can talk about it after stream if you guys want to enlighten me. Because I've been wrong before. All right. 10 feet, and then Kulu, you're up.
Cool. Then I'll stop looking up that ruling. I'm still pretty close to the bear. And it's how far away is it from me?
I think it's down. From you? 5 feet? 10 at the most.
Perfect. Good. I mean, I was gonna. Oh man, if I do an area of effect though, it's gonna hit other people. I'm gonna use Dragon's Breath on myself as a 4th level spell slot,
Okay.
which means it's gaining 2 extra d6. And I'm choosing to spend a sorcery point to make it. Well, should I do poison or blood? I can't tell if it'll be resistant to poison, but I'll do bludgeoning, and I won't spend the sorcery point. But I'm gonna use bludgeoning breath.
Okay.
So cast on myself as bonus action, and then trigger it as my action. DC 15 save for 12 magical bludgeoning. For people who are new, the dragons are a bit different in Jaken's world, and there is a wind dragon that does magical bludgeoning as its breath weapon.
You beat me to it. Okay. It has +5 dex.
Okay. So 10 or higher, save.
And they got a 10. So it's going to take half
Okay.
that. So it is going to take 6.
Cool. And that is it for me.
Okay. And I assume you're blasting that breath up at it so in order to avoid the crowd? All right.
Yeah, that was the goal.
Okay. The bear is going to come up onto the stage and get into 5 feet of Kulu and 10 feet of Agnar.
Ugh.
And the first thing it's going to do is open its now blood-caked maw and attempt to snap at Kulu. It has a +9 to hit. Kulu has a 16 AC, a 7 or higher. Oh, that's a narrow miss.
Ugh, I was already over shield, like hovering there.
Its teeth close in on your shawl and rip it from you, and it falls to the ground.
That's fine.
But then, as it reels up, it roars and it swipes its paw over your head and is going to make a claw attack against Agnar. Because it has reach 10 on its claw attack.
Oh, yay.
As long as I can maintain concentration.
+10 to hit. And +9 to hit, sorry. So that is a 28. That's going to be a hit. For 45 slashing damage.
Oof.
42 slashing damage.
Ah, my mistake.
Less oof.
I'm at 15 hit points.
Oh.
You mean on a scale of 0 to you're at 15?
On an arbitrary scale of 0 to 57.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Agnar, it is your turn.
Well, that changes things.
Is there anyone around it?
Not at the moment, but there are quite a few Huskarls nearby. Who will definitely jump into the fray.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. This is going to be absolutely a DM call because the wording of what I'm about to use
Oh no.
doesn't say whether it's an action or a bonus action. I've looked up every other channel divinity option published. They all say it's either an action or a bonus action. They all specify. This one doesn't specify.
Do I need to get my skag out?
Yeah. Very specifically, it's on page 133. It is the Oath of the Crown channel divinity option known as Champion Challenge. I need to know if it's an action or a bonus action. That changes what I'm going to do.
It says as a bonus. It says as a bonus action.
That's Turn the Tide.
Champion Challenge. I don't know.
Right above
I don't
it.
know if I can get the. I don't know if I can get this, but it says it right there.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then apparently I have a older version that it doesn't say in.
My book says bonus action.
Cool. All right. So, and then my question, because obviously Agnar would have used. I haven't used this before. If it can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from me, oh no, if I am incapacitated or die, or if the creature is moved, but what if I move away from it? Does it have to chase me?
What page again, sorry?
133.
Okay, I was... Oh, my least favorite part of DMing is looking up the rules, especially when...
Yeah, sorry. That's...
Each creature, blah, blah, blah. It can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you. If you move away from it, it will move towards you. That's my understanding.
Okay. Then spectacular. So Agnar's just gonna straight draw the sword and be like, "All right, buddy, you're here for me. Let's leave everyone else alone."
No. If you
No?
leave the 30 feet, it ends.
Oh, okay. Then never
That's
mind.
the next sentence.
Okay. Never mind then. Because I was basically gonna kite it. Shish kabibble. Okay, then option number 2, and I'm really gonna regret this, is level 1 spell. We are going to cast as a bonus action Compelled Duel, and the description didn't come up. That's ridiculous. Oh, the description's not in there. Long story short, if it attacks anyone but it has to what
Wisdom
save does it have?
It's got a plus.
Wisdom
It's
save.
got a +0 whiz.
Okay. If it
failed.
fails, so if it fails, attacking anything but me, it has disadvantage on that attack.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna drop as an action. I believe it's what I have. Yeah, I'm gonna use all 40 of my lay on hands on myself. So I'm back up to 55.
You mean 55?
Yeah. And then I'm going to back away into a open space with no one else around me. Like, all right, come on, Fluffy, this way, over here.
So like
Let's,
past the thing.
Yeah, like I wanted.
Because there's very little open space that's right now.
Yeah, I just want it clear of anyone else. I want it focused purely on me.
All right, Akan, you're up.
I feel like that's gonna bite you in the ass, but yeah, Akon is gonna try to make his way to
I
it.
think he's hoping it'll bite him in the face.
Yeah. So Akon has to make its way to it, and I think it moved forward. So now Akon is like, what, 40 something feet away?
30 feet.
Okay, so even if it moved in a direction, I'm still 30 feet from it. Okay. Akon is gonna try to intimidate the crowd into moving aside as part of his move action. So essentially, he's just gonna bellow out.
I would make that an action. If you're
Okay,
exerting
action
effort to intimidate, throwing your body around and roaring, and
I think it makes more sense mechanically to do that than dash through the crowd, because dash through the crowd kind of weird to me, at least in my imagination. So I'm gonna try to bellow like, move out of the way, like just like a big bellow, and then he's gonna move forward, whether they move out of the way.
Roll intimidate.
16.
That's good enough for me. People are getting out of your way. People are trying to get out of everyone's way, but seeing Hakan, well-known leader of the Great Mocked, barreling towards them at full speed, they need to get the hell out of your way. You can get up to melee with the bear.
Which I will. And give me a second. Yeah, I don't want to use my action surge yet. I want to use all my action. What can I do?
Stupid. I'm also a fidgeter, and I just hurt myself.
Oh. I don't really have a bonus, I think, that could apply in this situation. So, alas, I'm afraid would be done unless action surge.
Well, you tell me, but
I need to save
you want to save it for when you can do fighting spirit?
that, and but I
Run
also
up
want to
on our
save the king.
boy.
Okay, I'm gonna believe that Agnar can hold on from one more turn. I'm done.
All right. Bernhardt, back to you.
I just think the bear will attack Agnar first because of Agnar's current situation.
Just give me 1 second. Just checking once again. Wording on some.
Oh, good, because I actually wanted to do something at end of round. So look that up. End of round, several Huskarls are going to jump into the fray. And I'm going to have them make one attack roll against the creature. And they super duper miss.
So they are now surrounding the creature.
More or less.
Like if there was a lot of thunder right there, it probably wouldn't go over well.
Oh, no, that is the wrong spell. Sorry, this is a new spell that I switched out on the last long rest,
So it's all right.
Make sure I have it right.
Digging through books is kind of the theme of tonight's session.
Cool. So, Bernhardt going to look towards this bear that's squaring off with Agnar, and he says, "Oh, that takes many forms." As he says that, there's like that kind of darkening around him that seems to slide off of him and kind of scoot around the ground towards the bear before rising up next to this large form of a gnomish woman in robes. And I'm going to cast one of the first time well, this is the first time casting this spell. Also casting an offensive spell.
Is this
Guardian of Faith.
your first offensive spell?
I mean, other than
We're witnessing
bringing out
history
spiritual
tonight.
weapon.
Okay, you did do a spiritual weapon. Okay, so we've been lied to, is what you're saying. There's no damage roll here.
Yes. Yeah, I was just gonna
Okay.
roll the damage for when it actually triggers.
Okay, so I assume he needs to make that dex save now.
It's I guess.
Oh no, the damage
Technically,
is
yeah.
right there. It says 20 radiant. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
No, it
roll
is
on Guardian of Faith.
Yeah.
Okay, dex save. He's got
It's
a
Spirit
plus,
Guardians that I was getting mixed up with.
He's got +5 dex. He saved, so he's gonna take 10 radiant.
Sweet. And I am down to 50 points.
Oh, neat. Neat. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, it sticks around.
Oh, it has
until
for
it
8
deals
hours.
60.
until it
Or
does
until
60
it deals
damage.
60 damage.
Okay, I've never seen that spell, obviously, so I was
No,
very
me neither. It's
confused.
pretty neat.
Okay. Are you done?
I'm going to then move as far as I can with my 25 feet of movement, aka just 20 feet of movement, because it's still difficult terrain towards Agnar. So I'm going to get 10 feet, inching my way through.
All right, I'm
Making
gonna
my way
say Agnar is
downtown.
about 40 feet away from you now.
Okay, now or after the move?
After your move, I guess.
Okay.
Which for
God
me was
damn.
now. Yeah, because he backed away. Remember.
Yeah, so I'm like 5 turns away. Cool.
Well, another 10 feet and you'll be out of the crowd. So there's that. All right, Akulu.
Okay.
Cool. I'm just gonna breathe on this guy real hard. Because there's, well, he's still looking pretty sturdy, isn't he?
Yeah.
As strong as a
Yeah.
bear.
Cool. So Blight's not concentration.
We're not,
Oh,
not having that.
29.
Oh, you're doing fucking blight. Alright.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she didn't nuke.
Unfortunately,
It's not concentration.
this bear is hella thick and has a +9 con save.
Yeah, I figure.
Damn, boy!
I was hoping to roll
Yeah.
like last time, where I had like a 50 necrotic.
So that's going to be
or
14
whatever.
necrotic damage.
He's
Ugh.
thick.
Yeah. I don't have a good way to disengage with this guy, even if I jump away. And it has disadvantage. I don't want to risk it, so I'm gonna stay really close to this freaking bear thing.
Okay.
I can't believe Ironside has turned from us.
Yeah, that's not Ironside at all. Just as a heads up, like that's no, that's not how that
We've
works.
established Ironside is a bear with iron fur. Totally different.
Yeah,
These porcupine needles.
And I'm
Alright.
hoping that it catches, but I kind of want to call him Man Bear Pig.
So the bear.
He thinks this is the Bear King.
No, he was easy.
Wow. All right. Believe it or not, they're the same CR. The bear needs to cleave through at least one Huskarl before it has a path to get to Agnar.
Mhm.
So it'll make that
And
attack with disadvantage.
Mhm.
With a +9, and Huskarls, since there's 2 on either side, they have 18 AC, so he needs an 8 or higher. A 9 or higher. What? Oh, he got a 10. So his first attack is a big fat miss, and his second attack is also a big fat miss. So the bear roars with frustration because for some reason, because it doesn't understand magic, it is a compulsion is keeping it from tearing these tasty morsels to pieces. And basically, he wastes his whole turn. Agnar, you're up.
I can't believe we're like a hive of bees on this
Would
bear.
that also proc another dexterity save? Spirit Guard.
Oh, is it when he ends his turn?
Well, it says that
Any creature
Any
hostile to
creature-
you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time of his turn. I think it has to move. Because usually it'll say if it moves or starts its turn within.
yeah. Cool.
That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna double check the actual wording.
I mean, it's going
But
to.
we'll continue
Its
on.
goal is to move, so there's that. And it is Agnar. You're up.
I mean, not what I had planned, but I'll take it. All right, Agnar's. Is that concentration? That's concentration. That's concentration. That is not concentration. Ooh. Ooh.
I just realized
Um.
that because he didn't move. Oh no, it says on its turn. He was planning on taking move action. Never mind, carry on. It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure
Uh.
how Mixer works, but I think when I did my 100,000 sparks, that moved it up on the listings a bit.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Agnar, a little impressed with how well that strategy worked out, is gonna get a little full of himself, and kind of he'll just stand up super straight, square his shoulders, and point his sword directly at the bear.
Okay.
and just yell at it. Which one did I want to use? There's a thing. There's choices here.
You're yelling at it like a coach mad at an
Yeah.
umpire.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna yell at it to down, boy. That is the grovel effect of command.
That's not concentration?
Nope.
Because it
It
just
either-
lasts for one action, right?
Yep, it
All
does it or it doesn't do it.
+0 whiz. Got a 5. All right, so grovel.
On
it
its
falls
turn.
prone and then ends its turn.
Yep.
On its turn, it does that?
On its turn. So, where is it?
On its next turn, yep.
Yep.
Cool.
So on its next turn, it falls prone and
ends its turn.
Is done.
Gosh, that's a good spell. How come no one ever makes grovel?
Yeah, then that's literally it. Agnar's just going to be like, and all right, we got this.
All right, Hakan, you're up.
I'm just gonna make sure that does it stop if he takes damage?
Does what stop? The grovel?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's only if the command is directly harmful to it.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's gonna get the hammer. So bonus action to turn on Fighting Spirit, as we all know.
It's not prone now, by the way.
It gives me advantage anyway to use Fighting Spirit, so it doesn't matter.
Just want to make sure everyone knew that. It is not yet prone.
Yeah, I was like, bummer. Not quite.
I would assume it's not a construct.
It is not a construct.
That's a 19.
Wouldn't that be wild, though?
That's a 19.
You are not blessed, right?
No, I know. I forgot to turn it off.
So that's 15 bludgeoning.
Yes, and there's no reroll. Hold on, I'm just turning off bless so it stops showing up.
Okay. I see you stole my hashtag blessed. All right.
Well, I'm gonna try to find a more clever thing now, but I'll bring it back once I have a more clever thing. Second attack, advantage. Boom. 27 for 13. No reroll.
No reroll. Okay.
And then I'm gonna action surge.
At this point, it is wounded.
Well, that's a crit.
And some rerolls.
With 2 rerolls.
2 rerolls, so we're sitting at 20 damage plus 24, 25.
One doesn't change. And then, last attack. 27 for 1 reroll.
27 and 1 reroll, so
16
maxed. Damage.
Nice.
Okay. In Hakon's one turn, it went from looking like it could stay in this fight to being badly wounded.
And the best part is it can't turn against me. At least
it can, but it'll have a disadvantage. All right, Bernhard. Oh no, the Huskars are gonna go at it. Huskars are really scared. Okay, Bernhard, you're up.
So it'll take pretty much all my move just to get through the crowd and into not crowd area.
Okay.
I think it's what we established.
Yeah,
well,
you had 5 feet left over.
then...
Yeah. It take 20 of your movement. Yeah.
Typical terrain. Yeah. So I will do that. And then, so I'm still like 30 feet away. Out of the crowd, I'll take that extra 5 feet, so I'm now 25 feet away. So that makes a big difference. Oh man, I don't know. Hakon's turn really changed what I was gonna do. To hell with it.
As tends to happen when I use the Fighting Spirit and action surge.
So I'll actually use a spell that is concentrated as his holy symbol sparkles, and he touches a fingertip to it and then draws a circle around Hakon, draws a circle around Agnar, and draws a circle around Akulu and himself, because I'm going to be doing this at second level. But here comes a second level bless, as he says, "Order is our greatest strength."
Well, what you guys saying in chat? The horse stance is coming back.
You just wait. If I kill it, I'm using the ore stances in the after cutscene.
I really like that Fisto. You had that whole like, oh, let me turn off bless because we don't have it.
Whoa.
Oh, did you?
That's not what I was supposed to.
Okay, I was like, I thought you were using bless.
Yeah, same here. Oh yeah, because bless is up first.
Talk about wild magic.
Silly. Let's try that. I went to my second level spells, and apparently it was just clicking. I'm just like, yeah, this.
We'll do that. All right, so now you are all blessed. Anything else, Bernhardt?
I used my move. I'll just use that as an action. So actually, you know what? Now I will use my ability to cast that as a bonus action, and I will dash towards Agnar. So I'm next to Agnar.
Okay. You are perilously next to Agnar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that ability, that's like an order cleric thing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, I was trying to clear out and make sure that it couldn't get anyone. But if I'm gonna have anyone standing by me with this thing, glad that it's you.
I'm glad that I'm in front of Agnar. Like between Agnar and the bear that wants to kill it.
Well, Akul, it is your turn.
Cool. Yeah. Breath weapon. It is not prone yet, but
yeah, next turn you're gonna have a breath weapon problem. Alright, 10 and up will be a save. Sorry. So it's gonna take 6.
Yeah.
It is now
just a
near
bad
death.
damage roll.
Yeah, Hakan
awesome.
kind of rinsed its face.
Yeah. Like Hakan tends to do.
Yeah.
Only once per fight. But it's effective.
I'm more effective against humans.
Fighters are like, this is my moment.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, and that's my turn.
All right. The bear's turn. It falls prone and passes. Agnar, you're up.
Yeah, that's an entire thing that just happened. How far away from it am I?
You are 15-ish feet away. 20 feet away. 20 feet away.
20 feet away?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just stay back here. I am going to. I'm gonna dodge.
Look at you.
Done.
All right, Hakan, you're up.
I'm gonna attack. And just to be safe, well, actually, it's prone. I get advantage. Yeah, I'm just attack it. No need to use Fighting Spirit. I still have the 5 hit point anyway. That's a 28 for 15.
Okay. How would you like to kill it?
So first, I take one of my leg and I put it like far to the left.
Oh no!
And then I take my right leg and I put it far to the right, and I crouch, and then I bring the hammer down.
You drop into horse stance and then execute it. Got it. Horse stance is now canon.
What I love about it is that from that stance, the fact that it is hammer time, he could literally just put his hands on his hips and do this.
He's just a lump, like a little marionette toy. The little ones.
Yep.
So good.
All right. As Hakan's hammer comes down,
in a specific stance.
Yes. Half dozen of Thalfti's warriors break through the crowd, but then they turn their backs on you, and they start forming a perimeter, and the voice of Thalfti sounds out and says, "Protect the king! Protect the king!"
I mean,
You're like, I'm good.
I appreciate that, bud. I'm I'm pretty sure we're good. Pretty sure we're good.
Well, at this point, a host of Fjellfolk and Huskarls are breaking the whole festivities up and dealing with the upstarts.
Yeah, we are all of them dead? Are there upstarts that aren't dead that we
In
can
this
maybe
chaos-
prevent from dying?
In this chaos, given that you left it in the hands of the Fjellfolk and the Huskarls, they're all dead.
Damn it.
It is unknown how many actually started the fight. But when it ended,
We didn't start.
there were 6 armored warriors that were killed.
Yeah, we didn't light it, but
They
we're
were-
here to fight it.
They're all those warriors that we couldn't identify, didn't have any special.
One of them was wearing Thalfdi's sash.
Oh, one of the upstarts was.
Yes.
Was that the one Hakon was talking to?
Yes, that's the one Hakon was talking to, who just kind of went ballistic.
Okay. All right, I don't know anything about that, so I guess I'm just gonna leave it be.
Well, and I mean, I don't. Oh, hold on. This would be more in character. I don't know if necessarily we can hold those men accountable. For all we know, that thing caused the lunacy as it changed.
But the madness was only prompted in armored individuals, right? Like,
They were the only ones swinging wildly, yes.
yeah, it's like, but there were clearly targeted individuals who were unusually wearing full armor and weapons. I guess not that unusual. We are the bear folk, but they were noticeable, which says more like planted in the crowd than madness imbued.
That's I mean, it could be that the magic didn't have any effect on anyone that wasn't strongly loyal to a leader of some sort. I mean, most of Thalti's other Huskarls or mercenaries were fine. That one just could have been a dick.
Ilva, having listened to this conversation, reaches down and picks up some straws in case Agnar wants some more to reach at.
I'm just trying to be the voice of reason here. I've got a lot on my head now, and I don't want to be to conclusions. This isn't some sort of board game that we're inventing where we literally. It's.
And I apologize for caving his head in. I kind of forget that we sometimes interrogate people. He started swinging.
No, this one clearly we don't need to interrogate. Oh, you mean the first guy you talked to?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, no, that's. This was. I appreciate everyone's effort. You all did splendidly. We worked like a very well-oiled machine.
Before I foot in mouth, you guys told the Thanes that this was the plan, right? Except for the 3 that voted against you.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So the blonde-haired Thane Cabian, pushes through the crowd. His blade drawn, but not dirtied, because there was very little actual fighting, just a lot of screaming and yelling. But he looks down at the huge bear, and he looks up at y'all and he says, "Well, I guess it worked." And as he says that, the weight of the bear on the stage, because it never left the stage, causes the stage to just cave in on itself.
I've done that to a ping pong table.
All right then.
Sorry.
There are some interesting information being spilled out by a bear crushing a stage right now.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, we were planning on tearing this down after anyway. Like, this wasn't We weren't leaving this up, right?
We
We're
are
good?
standing on the stage, right?
Ragnar Hill coming out with another plate of food, missing the entire altercation, comes out. My stage.
Yeah, that's canon.
I got you. I mean, that's this. We're yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Bernhard, would you
Ag-
like to have a moment? Sounds like you want to have a moment.
No, he's just moving next to the woman who's
Standing
there
next
for 8
to
hours.
his.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, so I don't know if you caught in stream chat literal goosebumps at that spell description. I almost teared up a bit.
I love Bernhardt so much.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I feel like Agnar is gonna owe Ragnhild more than one dinner after this. Like he's just gonna have to be like, yeah, I'm paying you for everything for the rest of your life. Just done. Here you go, money, have it.
That's wise use of the treasury.
I mean, that's why you put me in charge. I'm gonna use it the best.
I
Right?
did not put you in charge.
All right, let's do a. I know this was absolutely friggin' bonkers. And we're all probably a little on edge at the, but Kabian, if you would be so kind as to organize some, I would like to pan out across the city, get some squads going out, and just making sure everything is copacetic.
He sheathes his sword and he says, "All right, I'll get the other Thanes on it."
I appreciate you. You're a good man. Your father would be very proud of you right now.
He like stops mid-step and he just kind of looks back at you and keeps going.
I mean, I think his father would be. I think, but it seemed like the thing to say.
I mean, you knew his father. So.
Yeah, but I mean, he seems. I don't know.
That seemed like the
looks like
thing
he
that
needs
would
a
cheer
hug.
him up. Yeah.
Yeah, he constantly.
Like,
He constantly what?
Looks like he needs a hug.
Oh, oof. F.
I mean, I'm personally not a fan of him, but sure.
Right? No. Oh. That was you like stepped up big time. Real proud of you not getting your head bit off up top. Come on. I'm not going to stop. I know, but I'm not going to stop.
Professional. I don't need to be congratulated for doing my job.
Hey, I'm the king. Get it? No, that was a 1. We're looking for all 5. Come on. I'm going to draw everyone's attention to it.
Where did you learn to do this? What culture?
Just bring it in. Bernie, Hakan, all around.
Bernie's gonna have to jump to reach.
Hakan, after seeing Akulu like going like, Hakan like kind of just like, boof, like just like smashed into that.
Agnar flies off the in a pile of hay down there, just like.
Next time Agnar forces me to do this, I'm gonna try and chill touch his hand. Like here's this necrotic little hand that slaps his.
Hey, but it's rule 674.
Anyone in chat ever use
Bernie,
Mage Hand to
real?
high five yourself?
No, it's rune 9. Rune 9 is celebrates every win. I don't know why it's 600 and something.
No, yeah. Celebrate every win. 70 was the encourage your teammates when they look like they're feeling down.
Yeah, I'm not feeling down.
And I mean, Akulu's had a rough. We've all had a rough couple of weeks. Akulu dealing with her friend, and Hakan dealing with being kind of a king thing. Whatever.
King
I
and
guess
everything
we
but
could-
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we've celebrated your win appropriately. With slaughter, and bloodshed.
I mean,
Anywho,
I used to just be a scout, and now I have to make sure the sun rises every morning. Kind of.
Really?
So-
I thought the sun shone right out here.
so Fjellfolk are larger than the average human. Little known fact: every now and then you find a Fjellfolk whose head is actually giant sized. Like the rest of their body is Fjellfolk, but the head is giant sized. And that would be our resident Hakan.
Yeah. Great.
Perfect. Alliance
It's almost as bad as
dissolved.
it-
I'm walking home.
Taking my hammer and going home, guys.
It's almost as bad as that one guy who pulled a chain out of a wall.
I
Yeah, he
mean,
was an impressive guy.
Hakon's
that-
almost as cool as that guy.
yeah, almost.
He's missed.
I
Yeah.
love him so much, but I feel mean for bringing him up all the time because I don't want to make PR feel bad.
Hey, it was an awesome fact, and I mean, it was something that Fenrir made sure everyone knew. So it's all right. It's just playing into what you-
Fenrir would have wanted people to talk about it for sure. And I love Bernard too much to really miss Fenrir too badly.
I guess if you want people to miss your old characters, you gotta make crappy characters.
Yeah.
You're gonna make them rip chains out of walls.
And try to rip trees out of ground.
That's a crying shame that
Um,
didn't work out.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
We
How's
should
the?
probably tent to people, right?
I mean, there's lots of wounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go around and do. I'm kind of all tapped out.
Yeah, I've got like healing potions and stuff. I guess I'll
That
use
guy
resources.
hurt. He almost did me in with that one shot. Like I felt it. Like my entire nether regions puckered.
Ugh. Ugh.
You guys did, you know, tactics wise, you guys did a great job of preventing him from killing you again. Yeah.
Man, Jacob really tried though. He made a joke about killing Agnar, but
Yeah, that bear guy is pretty murdersome.
He was beefy as hell. I think it all, like I said, well-oiled machine. It worked.
for my
out.
feelings, can I know if he was resistant to poison?
He was not.
Damn it! Okay.
His only
that's fine.
resistances was to non-magic bludgeon, piercing, clashing.
Yeah.
Possibly due to the fact that it's constantly chewing on itself.
I was just real hurt by the Bear King throwing my poison away that I'm so cautious now.
Hey, just a little bit of behind the curtain, because you let us know about the initial Bear King. Is this guy from the same source?
Yes, but that source listed him as CR8, and I'm like, it's not CR8. That's a CR12.
Hey, that's other than misapplied challenge ratings,
He's pretty
I have
cool.
thus far been impressed with, at the very least, the flavor.
Yeah, the
Of these
execution
monsters.
is kind of eyebrow raising to say the least. On
Yeah.
some of the blocks, some of the blocks are like, really 5d12 plus 6? That's what we're gonna do? Okay.
Ugh.
That's why he's actually a CR12. Not if I put that CR8 against a party that was supposed to fight a CR8, that would be a TBK. But you guys already killed the CR12, so.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. I think it seems that we were ready to just do another rest and go on to the next day.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm actually gonna go ahead and
try
do
to help out
another
or whatever.
Jumbo de Timeo. Does anyone have
Okay.
anything they want to do downtime for a few days?
I think PR is having connection issues.
Ah, it does appear that way. He's been having connection issues I don't
all
know if
day.
you guys can see, but like his audio is ahead of his video. But as long as I can hear him fine, I wasn't gonna.
I can't hear him at all. Has he been talking?
He is not talking
No,
right now
not right
that
now.
I know.
Oh.
No.
PR,
Let's see
are
if he
you
gets
with
back,
us?
and if he's still having issues, we can go ahead and go to break a little early.
Okay. You said you were going to do a jump out, a timeout. Can we know
3 days.
vaguely how
3
much?
days.
3 days.
3 days.
Okay.
3
We're
days
not
before I
really-
interrupt a meal.
We're not doing. What is it? What am I trying to think of saying? We're not doing very many leaving town things, right?
Unless you guys tell me you're leaving town. You guys are going to be staying in Suderhofen until the end.
Well, I just mean as far as like we're pretty much expecting our enemies to arrive at the gates at any moment.
Yes.
So I'm not going to go out into the forest and risk running into more ice wolves.
Winter
Is
wolves,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Granted, you will probably get forewarning of an army because the Fjellfolk have their camps, in a perimeter.
Surrounding. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the idea. But I just want to.
Pierre, are you with us?
This thing is spinning.
All right. Someone inform PR. We're gonna go ahead and go to break early and see if PR can sort out his technical issues. So we're gonna give it roughly 15 minutes, but if PR needs a few more minutes, we'll give it to him. So hopefully we'll be back 5 after the hour, and we'll have another roughly 2 hours of Dire Roll Endfrost. Thanks everybody who's tuned in for the first time. Thanks for all the follows on Mixer. I'm glad you guys found us, and I hope you're enjoying your time.
Thanks for hosting.
And thanks for the host. We will be back. We always take an intermission. I can put down the baby, and we can all do bathroom breaks. So we will be back hopefully 5 after. But if we go a little late, it's because we're still waiting on PR to get his stuff sorted, and hopefully we'll get it done. So we will see y'all then, and thanks again. All right, we're back. We temporarily, hopefully for the rest of the night, have solved the problem. However, obviously, Bernhardt will not have video feed, but that's okay. Because as long as he's here, he can hear us, we can hear him. It'll be okay. So, I'd like to just get right into it. We did a lot of table talk towards the end, right before that break. So, let's just get on with the plot. So, 3 days. Before we get there, I want to make sure everyone's had their chance. Does anyone want to do downtime activities that require the Dungeon Master to be aware of?
Yes.
We'll start with Hakan.
Akon would like to spend some time with the Fjellfolk because he's been pretty much this entire time inside the castle. And well, he wants to make sure there's no issue if there's any things that the Mac leader wants to bring up to him that needs to be resolved. Make a walk around the various camps, maybe like 2 or 3 camps a day, just to make sure that everything is in order. There's no infighting. There's no nothing. Blah, 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 blah.
You will receive a report that obviously it's the first month of winter, so game is going to become more scarce. But because of the Mock's presence, it's basically gone. And they're worried about food.
Well, Fjellfolks are made out of tough material, and he's sure that if he says, well, the hunters that want to go out further toward the threat, essentially, and try to find game there, they're welcome to do so, and he's fairly certain that a bunch of hunters will, so...
Okay. Agnar, you wanted something?
Yeah, Suderhoffen needs a
Needs a what?
Jarl.
Oh. Alright. Technically,
Damn.
as king, that's not really up to you to decide. It's up to the Thanes.
No, I understand that. But I can...
But you
I
go
can-
up to the Thanes and you're like, we need a Jarl.
We need a Jarl, and I've got someone in mind.
Alright. I think that warrants a scene.
Maybe, maybe not. Because it's Alva.
Right. I figured.
Yeah.
I legit thought you were going to say Cadian.
Cadian's an excellent choice, but Alva was an excellent choice, and the reason she was put on the back burner is bullshit
Yeah,
to
it doesn't.
Agnar.
I mean, we pretty much just allow election of jarls, so I don't see why it's that big of an issue.
Right.
Elect a new one.
Yeah.
She can adopt a child and raise it to be the jarl.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I think we'll just you speak to the Danes, and you said we need to elect a new jarl. I don't think Fenrir's coming back. I put my support behind Alva, and everyone's kind of like, okay, at this point they kind of expected that.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Cabian is still, has
Cabian.
that.
At the bit.
Yes, he's got his own ambitions, and so he might oppose her. But
do you also need to meet with Folfty?
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's less
later.
pressing.
Yeah,
that's less pressing than this now. Politically.
All right. Bernhardt, Kulun, do you guys have anything that it bears mentioning?
On what to do right now?
On your 3 days. I mean, like, I assume you run your business and, doing your day-to-day.
Yeah,
so
we're not expecting Name an Empire back yet, are we?
It's going to be a while.
Damn.
They had
Okay.
magical communication, but if they're actually traveling by boat back to the Name an Empire, that's like a week just to get
that's
there.
what I figure.
And the capital is inland. So
I'm just getting nervous about them making it back in time. So no, I'll probably just be doing day-to-day working with Bernie if he wants to learn like what I know how to teach.
He will not be there for those 3 days.
Okay, never mind.
He's going to be off among the people, doing what little good he can, healing wounds, trying to provide comfort where he can, and also not slyly, because that gives a more negative connotation to what he's doing, but low key just talking about his beliefs, not trying to convince or convert people, but is just letting people know that hey, there is a natural order to things. This will be all right because sun goes up, sun turns goes up, goes down, tides come in, come out. You can't explain it.
Kind of hierarchy of needs styles.
I dig. Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Okay. I gotta open up my character sheet again because of that hard restart.
Caddy, the typing.
I'm sorry. I wanted to Google something.
Awesome. Now my roll 20 is frozen.
All right. Well, we can put a pin in that. I just wanted to gauge the public's reaction to your message, and I was gonna make you do a persuasion for that. But we can come back to it when your thing is working, and we can carry on.
As soon as I'm able to roll, I'll just roll, and then we can come back.
That works for me. All right. It's almost the 25th day of the first month, and on your calendar, there are 26 days in a month. The 26th day is called Moon Day because it is the only time per month that you can see both moons. So, it is the 25th day. So tomorrow is Moon Day. Mid-morning, words reaches Modi's Bond that Hjali, his longship, is pulling into port. Last we saw Hjali, we sent him south to Yagshir to speak with his father, who had recently been elected king of Yagshir. His father is Bjarga Bearborn. So, Hjali is returning, or at least his ship is.
Returning as in it made port and he's coming to...
Well, I mean, the message is like we saw his ship on the coming towards us on the horizon. But maybe by the time you get the message, he may have already pulled into port.
Yeah. So that's I mean
Sorry, what?
myself. I'm gonna myself and a small band of Huskarls. I'm assuming I don't really get to go much of anywhere without them now.
Yeah, I mean, as protocol dictates, yeah. You have the King's Huskarls, the King's Carls, so yeah.
So yeah, I'll grab them and anyone else in the vicinity of Modi's Bond that wants to go, and I'm going down to the piers.
And if any other player character wants to catch wind of that and meet him on the piers, that works for me.
I mean, what time of day is it?
Mid-morning.
Okay, yeah, I can come on.
All right. So as you guys come to the pier, I'm just assuming the whole party's there.
Yes, I would be.
There's quite a bit of a commotion, and it seems rather positive because Yali has filled his ship with grain from his father.
Yes.
Yali appears to be in good spirits, and he's like helping his crew unload, and they're handing it off to probably, if this is the docks ward, he's probably handing it off to Yofer and Yofer's men. And he sees you approaching, and he jumps off the longship and marches up towards you. And he says, Agnar, I bring news from my father. Good news, but perhaps not as good as we would have liked. Should we go to Modi's Bond? Or?
Hit me with it. Let's go. Let's walk. Let's walk and talk. There's some news here too.
I'd imagine. Well, he turns and like he's making sure that his men are, going to be fine without him, and then he starts walking with you, and he says, "My father is sympathetic to our cause. However, the Naaman Empire has crossed the border of the nation of Wimeria, which is the closest nation to my father's ward of Yagshir, and they are uncertain if they should leave Yagshir undefended at this time. However, they have cleared out quite a bit of land, and they would like to, at your behest, take on some of our excess here.
Bring it in.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wait, who taught
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. That's really good news.
He would like to set up some homesteads with anyone who's willing to work the land, and he will provide a tribute for every one of our citizens that settle his lands. He will provide a yearly tribute based on their shared crop grain. But anyone who sets roots in Yagshir may not want to come back home. That's why he's offering the tribute. He knows it may be. But I didn't tell him this, but obviously between you and me, Bjorn Mars is overpopulated as it is, so... So with your permission, I can organize the other Thanes, and we can start sending our neighbors who have moved in, and start sending them back to Yagshir for safety. Or as safe as it can be until the Naaman decide they want to pick a fight.
I mean, asking for volunteers for movement.
Exactly, yes.
We may yet befriend the Naaman empires.
Oh.
No. Point of clarification. We have befriended the Naaman Empire on behalf of Suderhofen. However, that is about to extend to all of Bjornmars.
If we could extend it to Yagshir, my father would be indebted to us.
And given the fact that I'm almost positive that I can get a fellow Barafolk king to negotiate with the Naaman on his behalf.
Hjalli stops. What happened to Gunvald?
The king is dead. Long live the king.
And he points like, Agnar? Like you?
Yeah, it's Agnar.
Huh.
Hakon turns to Agnar and
I wasn't
literally
going
says
that
out
low.
loud, "Why are we not discreet?"
What?
Hakon turns to Agnar because remember when Hakon said to Bernie, he said the king is dead, and Agnar was like, "No, you need to chill." And now like he just tells this guy like he's dead. So Hakon's like, so we're not discreet.
No,
Like,
well, no. The immediate threat surrounding Gunvald and then myself, the immediate threat has been dealt with. I am confident that we are among friends here, so discretion not necessary.
Sounds like I have a lot of catching
Noted.
up to do.
You do.
Yeah.
The only concern I have is we need Huskarls to man the ships, which means we'll be pulling Huskarls away, and we have no idea when the attack will come. Granted, we have the Great Mocked to fill our ranks in the interim, and if the city really does come to siege, the common free man will pick up arms.
That. Well, and then on top of that, it's going to take a little while to organize and get them shipped out.
the Huskarls, are they for rowing?
First and
Both.
foremost, shouldn't we?
They are warriors, and they're also the crew of the ship.
Yeah.
Some
First and foremost,
use
shouldn't we
slaves
give your
as rowers.
Huskarls some much needed rest? Our walls are crowded, but surely our king could find room.
There will be beds.
Given the size difference between the Fjellfolk and the Barrow folk, although the Fjellfolk have a lack of sailorship expertise, would Fjellfolk be any help on those ships? Should we need to send them away?
Well, if you want to, if they know how to row, we could use them.
They might need to be taught a little.
Well, there's not much trick to that. But I'm concerned none of them have sea legs, as we call it. They may be more of a hindrance.
That's why I'm worried, but at the same time, it would be a good thing for Fjellfolk to start learning how to sail ships.
Hey, PR's back.
It would be a good learning experience for maybe some of them, but it might not be the right.
Sorry.
You sneezed so hard, you froze your camera for a second.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending... We don't want to lose any Huskarls here that we can't immediately replace. Your men are going to need a little bit of rest. It's going to take a little bit of time to organize the volunteers. The Naemans are coming back with a legion. And they're going to defend Bjornmars with us.
That's really good news. What about the Sea Elves? Has any attempt been made to contact them?
That was next on my docket.
I see.
Yeah, that one that's a little trickier because I'm not 100% filled in on the exact manner of the peaceful contact that my nephew had with them. But if I can get an ambassador here to talk, we can go from there.
Looking for the Del Marais is not always wise.
Yes, Akolu with your hand.
Actually, I think Bernhardt's been trying to talk for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, let's get Bernhardt in first.
Has he? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bernhardt with your hand.
Actually, I was only making sure that you guys could hear me.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thank you.
All right. So no, as I was saying, Kulu with your hand raised so politely.
Should we allow the Jarl to see to the the needs of the Huskarls and the organizing of the volunteers?
Yes, 100%. That
We can direct
Golly.
those questions to the Jarl and then move forward with the sea elves.
Who's Jarl?
That's what we're figuring out.
Okay.
There's to be an agreement made.
Yeah.
I do.
I'll
This
confirm with the other
afternoon.
Thanes.
Yep.
Yes.
As I'm sure they'll let you know, I'm leaning my support behind Elva.
Obviously, as the king, you can take his decision as he will.
Right. I have no say in it.
We are living in strange times. I think whoever takes the role of the Jarl will be in a limited capacity since the king is here in Suderhaven with us. That explains the king's Huskarls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shall see to my men. I will meet you in Modi's Bond.
It is very good to see you.
I wish I could have brought warriors, but less mouths to feed.
Food is better.
You brought full bellies for the warriors we have, which is just as important.
He gives you a warrior's handshake and then heads back to the docks. Oh, and when he does give you the warrior's handshake, he kind of like a king. You know, like.
Aw, cute.
Oh, that is an enormous weight off my shoulders. That's multiple weights off my shoulders.
As you guys are headed towards Modi's Bond, you see ahead of you Thalfty with a pair of his retinue, and he spots you, and he makes to intercept you.
Hey, buddy.
Was
King.
that a high five invitation?
No, that was a
King. We did not get the chance to speak those nights ago.
We did not. My apologies. Obviously, things out of hand.
I'm not sure if your advisor told you, but I have procured coin, and now, in the time between the festivities, as they were, and now, I have secured a shipmaker, and I am prepared to build a ship and become a thing.
I mean, that's spectacular. Suderhofen's going to need as many strong, confident leaders as we can get with the coming trouble.
Especially with that influx population.
Yeah.
We when would you be available in the next few days to be with our king?
I'm available now, or the rest of the evening, or today, the rest of the day. But if I have your blessing, I shall procure the carpenters and the shipbuilder, and we shall begin.
I believe the king has a decision to make. Didn't you, King, still have to reach a decision with the other Thanes regarding a different matter before we could fully receive the backing of the Thanes on this matter?
Yeah. I mean, you know how it goes. All the secret handshakes and the past notes and the.
I apologize, Lofty. I don't need to speak for our king.
I don't mean to overburden you. I just wish to lend my aid. I believe I have the experience that should be beneficial to the War Council. But I am always on your schedule, my king.
I appreciate that.
Your Huskarls know how to find me? Yes.
Roughly how long does it take to build one of these longships?
Not quickly.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but roughly. Like, is it a month kind of thing, or a...
Put a pin in that, I'll get back to you.
Okay. My thinking being he can make a longship and prove himself a Thane by helping to cart the volunteers. But that holds up the movement of those volunteers.
Either way, though, assuming the whole Thalti Thane thing happens, there's gonna be some long ships away, ferrying refugees. So another one in the works is not a horrible idea.
Yeah, and a new group of Huskarls trained up out of that
Yeah,
is not a bad idea. I
exactly.
just
More like
worry that-
formalized. He already has his Huskarls in name, in all but name.
right.
I know he does. What I mean is, like, he's got his Huskarls, but they're not Huskarls, so they're not.
Right.
They don't technically owe any.
Allegiance.
Or just respect.
I would say that if he has the lumber ready, it would take probably at most 5 days.
Okay, so we could
to build a lumber.
have this. What, PR?
Who normally ordains things? Is it the Jarl of the city, or is it the king?
The king has his own things, but typically, if it's a jarl's territory, he appoints thanes.
Yeah, and he wants to be a Thane of Studerhof.
Sure. Cool.
Why did he specify on that?
Yeah, he asked for a new district in Suderhofen.
Okay. Well, okay. So here's my thought process, and I'm spitballing here. So if anybody has better ideas, please throw them at me. Jarl of Suderhofen. My hope is it goes to Alva. That is going to leave Cabian not in a happy place. But I want Cabian in a happy place because good guy, and we need his support. We need his head fully in the game. And I personally feel, both player and character-wise, that Cabian is very much at the forefront of the future of Bjorn Mars. Like that guy is he's a leader among leaders. So what I want to do is offer Cabian a constellation prize, because Agnar is not very good at the political stuff. Agnar is planning on, if Alva gets Jarl here, offering Cabian a seneschal position within the royal, quote unquote, royal court.
So a Thane ship under the king as opposed to Thane ship under Suderhofen.
Yes, and that opens up a Thane ship in Suderhofen.
The only issue with that is that
gonna have. Go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say that we're going to have more people at Suderhofen therefore in need of a Thane.
We also are going to have 3 openings for Thanes.
That's fair, but that's not necessarily an angle actively thinking about. That's more
Okay.
that Agnar is totally glass half fulling all of this right now.
Yeah.
In that three Thanes that they just
either way, I think
just need to be
upgrading
convinced.
Cabian Pro, and then introducing new people, but you got to be careful that
and Thalti may not be the right person to do anyway. Thank you very much for putting him off there, because there is still some vetting work that needs to be done.
I mean, really, after the bolt hole in Drecky's word, we're going to start being picky.
Yes, that's exactly why we're going to start being picky. But again, that's not Agnar's call.
Yeah,
I can kind of throw ideas out there to whoever the Jarl winds up being, and just like, hey,
I could make some suggestions.
Suggestions with the capital S and concentration. But yeah, it's we're I mean, for lack of a better term, both militarily and politically, we are entering endgame here, and we got to be careful how we handle this.
We need more people on our side.
We really do. Well, I mean, and yes, Jake, and thank you for pointing out sea elves, because that was quite literally next on the docket. Was like, all right, let's get someone out there and get those beautiful Italian bastards in on our side. Yeah.
How about it is Kabian and Alva that are like vying for the Jarl, right?
That's the assumption. No one. It hasn't been. There hasn't been a formal thing on it.
Okay.
Just wait till the left hook from Jake.
Just take whoever loses at Thane for the royal
as seneschal. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and that is kind of the, like, because at that point, assuming Kabian gets Jarl, that then puts Alva and Sigrun out of Modi's bond. So
And their family.
And their family. So
yeah.
It would make sense culturally that they would join the king.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless one of them and their mother was Jarl of an heir.
I mean the king. I mean because the king is Agnar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at this point we need to get the Jarl thing squared away friggin' ASAP.
All right. In that case, let's go ahead and jump to that.
Okay.
That evening, the Thanes have all gathered, including the displaced Thanes and Jarl Oddmund. And they've decided to do this in Modi's Bond because the public has had enough excitement. And before they hold their vote, before they find out who's stepping up and if there needs to be a square and all that, Alva will pull Agnar aside. And she says, Uncle, King, I need some advice.
Oh, anytime, sweetheart. Come on, hit me with it.
After you gave me your support, I was approached by Kabian. He said that he was behind me 100%. But I was also approached by Yofer. He says that he will vote for me if he can take his Huskarls and his ship and emigrate to Yagshir. My first reaction was to just get him out of my hair.
Mm-hmm.
But he has trained warriors who know the Drekki's ward. And it could be a detriment to lose 30 some odd warriors. But given that Kabian has already told me that he's supporting me, I don't know who else is going to challenge me. But Yofer wants an answer before the thing.
Obviously. All right, so I mean, you've seen your father do this. You've seen your brother do this. You've now seen me do this. Hopefully you've done this before and you're just nervous, so it's not occurring to you. When someone comes to you with an offer, what do?
Make a decision?
You counter offer.
I hadn't considered that.
Even if the offer is too good to be true, which means it's too good to be true, you always counter offer into your benefit. So, Yulfer, he's a pain in everyone's ass. And I agree. Get him the hell out of here. Send him to Yagshir. Let them deal with him. But concern about, I mean, his Huskarls are among the best we have, and you're right, and we need them. So you counteroffer him with, yes, I will I give you my blessing to go to Yagshir. However, you have my blessing to leave once we've dealt with the Ice Queen.
Okay.
And see what he says.
I'll see what he says.
Was Yofer one of the individuals who voted against?
Yes, it was 3.
Okay.
It was Yofer, Holvey, and Clacker.
That's what I thought. Yofer was one we were not surprised, but Clacker was.
I believe Agnar used the term betrayed. Yes.
Yeah. Fenrir didn't. But he also wasn't good at taking lessons in school. True. He was the youngest.
And Agnar never had the pleasure of seeing Fenrir as Jarl.
Yeah.
He's just assuming. So.
Assuming?
Oh.
Do you want to confer with the party before?
I'm gonna leave that to the part. Like we're probably just hanging out waiting for. They need to say.
I mean, I think he was asking in case you wanted to discuss what Alva sprang on you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll let everyone know that surprisingly, Katie, that I'm proud of him, but at the same time, it worries me. Like, because he and wasn't he and Yulfer? Like Yulfer had his ear.
Yes.
And that is very much a Yulfer to make with something else on the fire, ready to be like it's.
Yeah, it's got motives, especially since Yofer's planning to leave.
You know what? Before conferring with the party, then I'm just gonna pull Kabian into the as soon as I see him, I'm pulling him into and everyone else out.
Okay, you're just gonna talk to Kabian?
Yeah.
All right.
You talked to my niece earlier?
I did.
What's going on with that?
Well, I am forever the servant of Ironside. And even though I had strong reservations about Fenrir, there were times where it seemed like the ancestors of his lineage fought beside him. Like I could see them when he got angry. And I'd always wondered about that. Then his uncle, and he gestures to you, returns with power that can only be from Ironside. And perhaps Ubba, but certainly of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, as a devotee of Ironside, if his chosen warrior says Iolva, who am I to disagree?
This is Loki making a lot of sense.
So
Ingvar's proud.
I have one excuse me. I have one main problem with all of this. And that is the undeniable, unfortunate fact that you're not my son.
He just kind of like awkwardly chuckles, like you complimented him, but he doesn't know how to take that.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
If I were to have a son, and I'm just going to leave it at that, You, Kavian, your father, your family, and all of us that you are surrounded with are stronger and safer because of you. And we are all ridiculously proud of you. You exemplify exactly what this whole thing.
Don't look to me. Look to Ironside.
That's super sweet.
But
I'm gonna
I
I'm gonna need you to knock that off. You and I have a lot to discuss after this happens because there are things in store for you.
Ironside has plans for you.
Uh, Ironside and Ubba and Calder, and I mean, I can't say I speak for them, but I can say that were they here, you'd be getting just massive high fives.
total.
All right, let's go do this. I'll see you there. I gotta go talk to some of my peeps beforehand.
Okay. He gives you a courteous.
No. As soon as he tries to bow, Agnar is stepping in with the biggest hug he can manage.
Fabian at first just like, and then he just kind of does like the awkward guy hug where he pats you on the back, like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, but
and then maybe
Agnar's
get out of here.
got that big two pats that translates to "I love you" and "man."
Yeah. And now I'm gonna go fill in the rest of the.
All right. You have.
And then I fill. You have been filled in.
We need to handle Yolfer before he has. We can. Here's the thing. We can always promise Yolfer he can leave afterwards. We don't have to promise that he leaves moving around, capable of controlling his body, not in an urn. Or
It sounds like you are planning to perhaps kill him. Is that what is being suggested here?
was that not? Is Agnar okay? I'm saying he might not survive the Endfrost. We do have to accept, people, that the Endfrost is not going to just be all roses and sunshine, and we'll all get there in time, and no one will be hurt. He did vote against Agnar as king, and he has been questionable.
Yes, there was the Horensival. He's also named by that man that was not a so there is concern.
The betrayal of trust. We do need to consider that he is a danger to the Bearafolk for his own gain, and that maybe sending him to our allies is a dangerous, a cause for concern.
If he goes with this, sending him down to Yagshire, we send him down with fair warning to Bjarga on hey, keep an eye on this one.
Should we maybe just warn Hyali? Like, maybe he shouldn't make it too far? Not make it too far, but I mean, as far as like, maybe you shouldn't give him too much power.
So, if I may, From what I understand, the two options that's been discussed is to let him leave, make the original deal, which means he would leave with all his Oscars under his. The second option that I think is what we're talking about here, is him staying until we deal with Endfrost and then leaving if he's still alive, from what I get.
Well, we'd prefer if he stayed through because of the whole Huskarls and.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm picking up a little bit more about this deception thing that the Bear folk seem so keen in. And I'm afraid that if we put a restraint on him, as in staying here, he might try to find a way to go against those orders and disappear at a crucial moment. Given that Yofer is all about his own personal gain, how about a third option? He can leave immediately with a small contingency of his Uskarls to protect him, as is regular for a Tain, I believe. But he must entrust the command of every other Uskarl that stays behind to another Jarl or another Tain. We retain most of his forces and we get rid of someone who might betray us.
And then when all is said and done, they're free to join their Thane in
Yes.
Yagshir.
See, there is a problem with that option as well. You, as Con mentioned, if they are not in this 100%, then they will not fight at that. They will find a way to run, or they will not put all the
If
effort
they're
into
not-
it.
If they're not in this 100%, I think we do need to remind pretty much everyone that if you're not in this 100%, the world ends.
Yes, but will say, or when you ask them, or say, "Oh, you need to be 100%," they will say, "Oh, don't worry, we are 100%. We'll be doing this." And then when the time comes, they will either run off, or they will just fight half-hearted, or they will try to undermine us. Perhaps cutting him loose is the best option, and then, as mentioned, say, "Hey, don't give him power or anything like that. Just treat him like a."
Or should anything happen to him before he has a chance to leave, and his Huskarls are needed here, and they have a new leader who is made Thanes, and Yofer conveniently stops being a problem for us.
I think we kind of need to see how it plays at this point. We got to put our faith in Alva that she's gonna either convince him or she's gonna do the right thing. Because I don't trust him to do the right thing. His men have been manipulated. Whether they're salvageable or not, is a completely separate question. But I think we just kind of need to let it play out and see what happens. It's not as if any of us are master manipulators, powers behind the throne.
Yeah. I believe that's fair.
Well, it can be Bunchfield. It is natural for the gnomes to kind of position themselves against one another. There's not much to do there, so I am quite crafty when it comes to this thing. So perhaps I could maybe speak to him and trick him into thinking that an idea is not. Push up glasses.
Do they do the anime villain sheen?
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
he cut out for me, so I kind of missed the last half.
If you think you can talk him into it, I mean, I don't know of anyone else here that has any sort of experience doing that and would be good at it.
Well, it is a pastime of the Basio, so I mean, it's kind of second nature. I must admit, I was not the best, but that's also comparing to the other Basio who was, I mean, it's a second nature to them.
You know, I think I would like. I know you've done some learning from me, Bernhard, but I think I'd like to learn a bit from you this time and see how the political sphere plays out. Do you mind if I observe?
No, I mean it's a free land as far as I know. So
Yeah, 100% free.
It's like that scene from Griswold's Christmas, like Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
So I think so. Okay, so I know what is it we want to convince him. He should go with just some of his folk.
I think we're going to wait to see what is Alva's angle here.
Well, I mean, the offer I threw out there was, or the counter offer I recommended was, he will have her blessing, assuming she is Jarl. As her Thane, he would have her blessing to emigrate to Yagshir, but we need him and his forces here for the battle. That was her angle. Unless, I mean, she could call an audible and just, I mean, she could go her own way.
Would you? What is the thing we don't want him to do at all?
I assume it's his leave with all his men or women. I should not be gender.
Leave with his Huskarls, yeah.
Yeah, we need the forces.
Yeah, that and so tactically that, politically, I don't want him throwing his support behind someone else. We need as much of a unanimous.
Okay.
We need the confidence, and quite frankly, Alva's going to need that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, worst comes to worst, she could always face off whoever is her opponent in the square. She is quite frightening.
We don't have the confidence behind the king in Yofer. But I would be willing to check things out and convince Yofer to be on our side.
All right, but perhaps we should not use magic that is temporary, and if it fails, then they are all mad. So then he will counterplot it. So
Well,
I think maybe just personality.
I was planning on watching you engage in the political, like I said.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I know that we often use this way of suggesting things to be done.
Well, we don't use it that often, mainly because of that whole wearing off thing. I mostly do that in short term, we get away from them for a long time situations.
Oh, well, my apologies. I thought it was used more often. I must say it's cannot tell when you do it, so I assumed, I suppose.
It's all fair. Cool. So we're gonna meet with Yofer, I guess, is the next step in this scene.
Okay, so
Are
Bernhardt.
we going to... Wait, are we meeting with Yofer, or are we waiting to see what he says to I'll...
I didn't
I
assume we
assume-
would view the conversation between him and Alva.
Well, either that or that conversation has already either happened or is ongoing while Agnar
We're
met
doing
with
this.
Kabian and the party.
Jacob?
If you guys look over, you see Alva kind of stomp away from Yofer, and Yofer kind of shrug.
Cool. Bernhard?
Okay, well, suppose this stomping is not a good sign, so that was a no. So perhaps, okay, I got this. This is easy. And I'm going to stroll over to Yofer gonna say, excuse me, is a seat taken? May I have a seat?
Sure.
Climb in to it. So we do not talk too often, and I thought this would be a good time. I know that I am an outsider, so this is, probably strange to you.
Things have been really strange ever since Einar died.
Yeah, the world has been pretty strange for me for the last 40 years, so I understand. So something I wanted to talk to you about, obviously. Because me and Agnar are so close, I've learned some things. And he told me that you wish to go to Yorkshire.
Yeah. Suppose that's out there now.
Well, this is just not like everyone knows this, And assuming that the stomping of Ailva there was you saying no to her counteroffer, it seems that we are still at an.
Roll insight.
I'm gonna help because I'm just standing by.
Are you proficient?
Yep.
Okay.
Do I have to be proficient? Because
No.
I don't think I am.
Only the person
Okay.
who's proficient can help, so.
Good. Huzzah.
16? Okay.
Yep.
When you say that, he shifts and his facial expression changes, and after you say that, it suddenly the conversation shifts so that he is holding on to something that he thinks is going to benefit him.
Okay.
He feels like he's gained the upper hand in this conversation when you said that.
Good. Good. So,
Blight!
seeing as it.
Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
Sorry.
canon now.
I'm sorry, Fisto. I didn't mean to step on you there.
I didn't hear what you said. So.
Oh, I said blight.
He said blight.
Now, do you want to talk now? You've been blighted. So, I'm. What you may not know about me is I am a firm believer that there's a natural order. As day comes to night, night goes to day, summer to fall to winter, back to spring. People, becomes children, and they become adults, and they die. Natural cycles. And I believe that there is a way that we can all benefit from what it is that you want.
Oh, and I see you're 22 for your persuasion check. So your message was well received. I'm on the block, please.
Sick. And just to add to that, while he was doing it, he would also bring up about, because a lot of people were at that meet and greet at the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He will just subtly throw in every so often the appearance of Saint Lina.
Saint who?
Lina? I'll write it.
I know who you're speaking of, but yes.
Yeah.
I see you. I see what you're doing, and I approve.
It's cute.
Okay. He says,
So,
I'm listening. I'd be very interested in getting what I want.
As we all fall. As you know, the Endfrost is coming. The armies of the Ice Queen, or whatever her name is, will soon be upon us. And I know from your point of view that the offer that was made probably is not that great of one. You're probably thinking, oh, but if I stay, there's a chance I might not be able to leave because I'll be dead. Nobody wants to be dead, I assume. So that probably was the reason that you said no. Am I wrong in this?
I certainly don't want to die.
Oh, I'll see. But is that the reason you told her no, though, to her off?
Ilva and I had a private conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not on my place to impose. So, I was thinking that perhaps that we could meet in the middle, a common ground. If you wanted, you and say 3 or 4 of your house cars, you could be on one of the boats with the refugees that we are sending down to Yorkshire. You could be the strong men that protects. The other housecarls under your control would have to remain here to protect the city and obviously the refugees.
Should have expected as much from a holy man. I was hoping for a bribe. Ilva and I have come to an arrangement. One that I think I'm happy with. I don't care about her.
Right? Well, okay. As I am a holy man, that is true, I suppose. I mean, I don't like to say that. It's, I mean, it's not like I
Integrate
believe in
God.
some. It's not like I believe in some sort of divine thing. I just believe in the order of things falling into place. I should mention, though, that when things do not go the way that they go, it is my job to make sure that they do. And sometimes, as I'm sure you've seen, I am not the nicest person.
That's an intimidate roll, please.
Awesome.
Hot damn!
I was not expecting that turn.
I would like to use my inspiration.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Too bad I'm not close. Could give you advantage.
Well, I mean, I'm using my inspiration.
Yeah, I know, but without using. Anyway, go ahead. Ooh,
Yeah.
15.
Ooh, 15. It's pretty good. Is it good enough?
Nope.
Yofer takes you seriously. You can see it on the expression on his face. Then he looks you in the eyes. He says, "You got power. I don't deny that. But you kill me, my Huskarls are just gonna leave anyway."
What? No, it's that. Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps this is a language barrier. I did not mean to make it sound like I was going to kill you. That was not what I wanted at all. I just wanted you to know that things. I mean, as you mentioned, I don't know what this deal is. I just have concerns that you may not have the best interest of Sudahofer based on some meetings with the halls in the war. I just wanted you to know that I'm here to make sure that things go the way they are supposed to. So if you were trying to backstab things, that I was there to make sure that they corrected. I am not a strong man. You
All
could
right.
easily.
He starts standing up and he says, "You are right about one thing. I do not have Suderhoffen's best interest in mind. It's always been me and my men."
Very commendable. I mean, that is at the end. That's what you all should be doing. Is that is the way things go. So I'm not mad at.
But if you want to come at me sideways with your religion, you're gonna have a fight on your hands.
I don't want that either. So you may have seen I'm not much of a fighter, or I've always not really been much one. I don't like the violence. But you, as you said, you came to an agreement with Alva, so we respect that. So
As he comes to stand, he interrupts you. He says, "Word of advice: if you ever want to find your Underdark, you should leave too."
yeah. Is it not here?
It's definitely not here.
Is it in the? Is it in? No, I mean I meant on Beyond Mars. It's on the Daemon Island that I'm
No, I
hearing
mean
about?
that everyone who stays in Suderhoffen is going to die.
Oh, that's, I mean, that's not good. Thank you for the warning. It was very enlightening.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of just like and just walks away.
And I'm going to turn to Akulu and go, so that did not go as expected. He thought I was threatening him, and I was not.
Weren't you though? I thought that was kind of like I thought that was kind of some interesting new gnome threat, as opposed to like, I will hurt you, like I will let you be hurt. I thought it was a real roundabout.
No, I was just saying what my job was. My job is to make sure that the order is followed. So, does it come off as a threat?
It came off very much, a threat is just a promise of harm. And there was definitely a promise to not prevent harm.
Oh. Now I see why I was not very good at this Candyman spiel.
Oh, maybe you're not the best instructor. Do you think I should talk to him, or is this a lost cause?
I think this might be a lost cause. I did threaten him, which you say I did, and he seems to think so. I think that maybe putting more pressure is not the best this right now. But he is also, I'm gonna say this more quietly. Actually, I'll say this in Draconic. But he is also one of the ones that is going to betray. But if it does come to him being hurt, not exactly that, not willing to do so. I guess it was a threat. Now that I think about it, yeah, okay. So it was a threat.
I have an idea. What if he takes being told what to do so poorly that we can tell him what we don't want him to do?
The verse thinking, yes. It's like you tell a child, "Oh, don't touch that. That's hot." They will obviously touch it. So like, "No, I'm not going to listen to that. I want this cookie." No, I get it.
Yes.
Yolford definitely wants this cookie.
Lena used to say that to me and use that mentality on me all the time.
Okay,
it took me many years to figure it out.
Kjali speaks up.
Yeah, from another direction.
No, he's projecting. And
oh, okay.
The Thanes are prepared. We shall now hear who wishes to become Jarl of Suderhoffen. Aelva steps forward. Everyone's standing now, and she throws her spear onto the table. And she says, I, Aelva, Einar's daughter, seek the Jarldom to continue it in my bloodline. You all know me. I'm the greatest warrior of my father's seed. And then she looks at a couple of the Thanes, and she says, I grew up with some of you, and none of you could beat me. You need a warrior.
Hear, hear.
All right, she steps back. There's a long pause, and everyone's kind of looking around. And finally, one person present steps forward with an axe in hand before he throws it onto the table, and everyone turns to none other than Kjolvi Gerda's son. Everyone, and a silence washes over.
He doesn't even go here.
That doesn't matter. that's not how it works. But yeah,
Thank you, Vegas.
Holvi says, "You know me too. I defended Castle Northgate for a month, surrounded, and I still made it all the way here. I have endured the weakness of our former rulers, and I believe I have the experience and the will to defeat the armies of Endfrost." And then he points, he says, "At the right hand of King Agnar."
No. Later. I got you. I got later. Hand down.
But Evan, he says that he made it out alive, but it's not very noble of him. I thought that he would protect the others.
I mean,
Right.
arguments come soon, and that's a good one, and you'll make it.
Well,
Okay.
it kind of,
It's just the other-
Hjalli looks around and he says, "All right, it is a competition. Normally, acts of heroism are required to prove yourself worthy. But in lieu of that, and since none of we 5 Thanes have put our weapons onto the table, it falls to a simple vote. Only the Thanes of Suderhoffen shall vote, and we shall now break to deliberate. If any challenges are to be met, they must be viewed by all 5 Thanes." And Agnar, knowing his niece, I was kind of like bobbing on back and forth on each foot, and she looks. You can get the impression she's like, "I just want to challenge this guy to the square and kill him and be done with it."
I'll try to catch her eye.
She's like staring daggers at Holvi. So the Thanes all nod, and they all kind of like step away from the table, and a few of them pair off to talk. Clacker and Hjalli start talking, and Yofer walks away from the group, plops down at a table by himself, and starts cleaning his nails with a knife. Like he already knows what he's doing. And so the other 2 Thanes, Falky and Clacker, start to speak.
Agnar is determined to let this play out.
Odmund walks over to Agnar and says,
Mhm.
"It's a shame we can't all vote. At Holvi would be done."
Yeah, I'm not super stressed about it. Because I know my niece, and assuming she doesn't get the vote, she's going to do what needs to be done to make sure Suder stays under the charge of Suderhoff.
Suderhoffites?
Suderhoff. What do we call ourselves?
Under the concerns for those who have been in Suderhoffen long enough to care for its people.
Yeah, my family. Not this douchebag. So, and if that comes, then
He did just bring him.
she's got this.
This is Holby? Yeah, it's Holby.
Had we determined that Halvey is a lanyard wearer?
If Holby is the lanyard wearer.
We had determined that.
Was he the one that you guys called out? Well, where's your lanyard?
I'm pretty certain.
I think so, yeah.
I'm almost positive.
We
Yeah.
know Holby wears a lanyard,
Okay.
and that's not someone who's we're interested in running super often.
Yeah.
All right, and at this point, Ilva will lock eyes with Agnar.
Can I go over to Alva?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he just walks over to the second. So I don't know how the vote is going. I also don't know what you said to Yofa, but I think that this might be ending in a way that seems pretty common with your family. I just want to. I know that my belief is not shared by all your kind, but I thought that maybe I could just say a prayer in hopes that things work. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
And he brings his amulet up to his lips and whispers, "To accept odds, attacks as a shield." I'm casting 8 at 4th level on her.
Fuck. Okay.
Ooh.
And because I have to I think I have to target 2 other people. Akulu and Agnar will also just get
Get hella temporary hit points. Or no, that's
15.
max hit points, right?
Yeah, max hit points and current hit points increased by 15.
Nobody's looking at Akon because he's stoic as usual. There's a small tear that comes out of his eye, and then he goes, and then it goes back in.
Yeah. Like Claudius
Forgotten.
changing the balls.
By the way, since Kabian's out of the race, please remind me I want to do something with Kabian after, in case I forget to mention it.
Okay, everybody's adopting Kabian. Got it.
Yep.
So at this point, Iva walks over to Agnar. And she says, I just want to kill him.
And I get that. And
But I'm curious to see who votes where.
good. There's changes coming. And the whole we kill each other when we disagree. We're gonna be putting a stop to that. And I would much rather it didn't come to that right now. Obviously, with the current situation, I'm not gonna step on things.
Honestly,
But
he wouldn't even be competition if he didn't have the Skald singing of his praises in every tavern.
But
fair.
why is he singing of his praises? He was a leader that somehow just he made it out, not the people that he was sworn to protect. That is not very honorable. Unless things are different up here.
Well, some people like the story of a heroic charge against impossible odds.
But how many? He left with a large force, and yet only was sacrificed. Odwin, the senior, he stayed. He gave his life for these people.
He's
This
spent
seems very
every
odd.
day he's been here convincing everyone that Odmund, the elder, is the only reason why he failed. And if you say it often enough,
Ah, well, then it was fancy Untertag. Okay, it's
I didn't catch that. Can you repeat that? You cut out.
he says, "Oh, okay, then. With that in mind, I will find the Underdog." And he just smiles and kind of like feels good about it now.
All right.
Yeah, no. You got this. Even assuming this vote doesn't go the way that it should, you got this. Because if the leader If the Jarl is unfit to lead, the Jarl can be challenged. Right now, there's no Jarl to challenge. And if the challenge has the blessing of the king,
Well, at this point, I just need one vote.
so let's let this play out. No challenge necessary right now. You got this. You're good enough. You're strong enough. And gosh darn it, people like you.
All right. A little over an hour passes as the Thanes talk amongst themselves. And finally, everyone kind of looks to Agnar as they kind of assemble, and they each nod to you like they're ready. And since you're the king, you should oversee the vote.
Right, once everyone is sat back down, I'll go ahead and kind of down on the table, stand up. All right, looks like we're ready to get this over with. Without much ado about nothing, let's hear it.
So you want to point to a Thane and get their vote? All right, who do you point to?
Start on my left and just work my way around. No, not preference, no favoritism.
Well,
Yeah,
shit.
Cabian is to my left.
Okay. Cabian says, I vote Ilva.
All right. And then next to him is...
Who's who?
Wait.
I didn't
Hjali?
You cut out.
Hjali?
Hjali?
Yeah.
Hjali strokes his, very straight beard. He says, Ilva.
Clacker?
Clacker's kind of hunched over, elbows on the table, and he goes, Holvi.
Mm-hmm. Yulfer, and who else left?
Falky.
Falky?
You can tell that despite the fact that everyone told you already, Falky is still tossing it back in his mind, and finally he just goes, Ilva.
Yulfer?
Yeah, Ilva. Ilva.
Mm-hmm. And there we have it. Alva.
She stands up.
Oh, God, hold on. Brain just stopped.
Same as Einar said, or Einar daughter.
Yeah, Einar daughter.
Einar's daughter.
Ilva Einar's daughter. Sigrun's daughter. Do you accept this charge?
Yes.
Then you have my blessing.
Hjali stands up and he says, Then it's decided. Ilva Einar's daughter, Jarl of Suderhofen. And there's a collective nod around the table, except for Hjolvi, who just stands up and walks out. And as he leaves, Oddmund just gets this big grin on his face.
I'm gonna... Oh. I'm doing it anyway. Agnar's going to approach Clacker.
Okay. As you approach him, Clacker noticeably like steps back and kind of brings his arms up, like, please don't kill me.
Come here.
He nods and he approaches.
And Agnar hugs him. I get it. No one begrudges you your vote. But if you don't lend my niece your full support, I'll kill you.
Is this like whispered mid hug or said out loud?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Whispered mid.
Okay, this is very good.
Clacker replies in hushed tone. He says, "You may not agree with me, but I stand with Suderhoffen till the end."
I know that. And that's why no one begrudges you your vote. It makes sense. And now, Suderhoffen's Jarl is Alva.
And
I
as you
expect
say
to
that,
stand with that.
Alva takes her position at the head of the table and she says, "And as my first act, Yofer, you can leave with your Huskarls, your brand of brigands that wear shiny chainmail. But you don't get to keep your ship." And he stands up very slowly, but even though he does it slowly, he still knocks the chair down behind him. And he's like, "That's not what we discussed." She says, "I know. We can make the square, or you can accept." And Yofer just kind of like puts his hands on his hips and looks down and says, "I hope you don't regret this, Jarl." She looks down at the spear that's still in the center of the table, and she looks up at you and she's like, "I can kill you with my bare hands, boy." And he just says, "Fine. Me and my Huskarls will leave." And he storms out.
Oh, that's he should have took my offer. That is way.
That being said, there's now an opening. The Drecky's Ward needs a new commander.
If I may,
Of course, King.
there's an individual here in town that might be right for it. But I'm going to recommend you do some serious vetting. He's got the resources. He's got the arms. He's got the people to wield the arms. And he's prepared to add yet another longship to the fleet. But you're going to want to look into him, find out what you can,
Maybe talk to Saul.
and y'all make the decision. Yeah, I would honestly. Great point. Thank you, Akulu. Get Salt on the job. He's a good man. Does his job well.
Okay, but who's the man you're recommending, King? You haven't given me his name.
Faulty.
She turns.
He's already approached the king with this offer
I see.
before a Jarl was chosen, and the king chose to have you place this Jarl and make the decision on what is best for Suderhoffen yourself. Sorry, he didn't clarify that, and I thought you would appreciate hearing that part of the.
I'll confer with the other Thanes and speak with Salt, and I'll make my decision.
You know where to find us if you need us.
Well, King, I assume you'll be continuing to stay at the castle.
For the time being.
Good. All right. Don't you all have work to do?
Yeah, I was about to say, I need to go to work.
And then she turns to Clacker and said, or some of you who are older in years may need their bed.
Ooh!
That's not nice to say. I'm always with him.
No, Professor Slew, that's not to say I'm old and...
I'm very, very curious as to the expression on Clacker's face at that.
He doesn't take offense.
Okay.
In fact, he kind of nods like Scorsese when Ricky Gervais made a joke. He's like, yeah, I am really tired.
All right. That's taken care of.
Right? Ilva is Jarl of Suderhof.
Jarl, we might need to borrow a boat, and it looks like you've got an extra one.
I'm speaking with Hjali on how we're organizing. We've only just put out the word, but it looks like we're going to have a lot of people who want to leave. Hjali has the numbers and acreage on how much their land can hold, but it looks like if these requests to emigrate continue to swell, we will need to do a lottery. And if that's the case, I may need all my ships. But of course, King, what's mine is yours.
Wait.
So, say the word.
Hold on a Doshgarn minute. I have my own boat.
Actually, you have 3.
I,
You have 3 big, long ships because you're the king now.
how big is Yulfer's boat?
I think Yofer had on the small end. It's all the size of their boat is in their.
It's in the journal. Yeah.
Listen, it's not the size of the boat that matters. It's the waters. It's that motion in the ocean.
He has a Snikya, which is the smallest thing.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you.
Yeah. All right.
And then, for the time being,
Yes,
until
the
all
Snikya is the smallest of the 3.
yeah, I'll I would like a smaller pleasure liner.
She starts
so,
to giggle, like.
You can have you can we'll figure out which one you can have. But then also until all this is dealt with, you have use of my other 2 as well.
Appreciate it, King. I will let you know the plans once we finalize it. But again, we need to make sure we know how many people are going and what we need to do with it.
Yeah. Cabian.
Time out. Kulu, did
Yeah.
you want to chase down Yofer? Or are you going to wait for another time?
It would be weird to just run out now, and convince him to stay. Like it would seem odd for Akulu to unprompted run away from the party to go track that guy down.
Well,
So
she could slink away,
Okay,
She's got the power of
I just
slink.
was gonna
You also
risk
said that
him.
you had to get to work.
Yeah, okay. I did say I need to get to work. I'll head out while they're talking boats because that's clearly not a me issue.
Okay. Well, let Agnar finish and then we'll get to you.
Okay.
Mine is super quick.
Okay, cool.
Cabian, you were with my nephew and crew when they ran across when you all ran across the sea elves, right?
Yes.
Get some men together Take my new boat. Go find me some sea elves. Quickly.
By your will. All right. So Akulu.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go where I think he will be.
Right. Well, if you're fast enough, you can just catch him on his way out of Modi's Bond.
Oh, okay. I mean, we had stopped to have conversation before we were all kind of released to our duties.
I suppose you can
wasn't
go
sure.
to his home in Drecky's ward.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Instead of like catching him on the street and be like, "Hey, listen."
Okay.
I don't want to seem too urgent.
So outside of his door is one of his Huskarls, and you know I like to remind everyone, keep their minds fresh, but also for the new viewers, his Huskarls don't look like anyone else's Huskarls. Most Huskarls are wearing the heaviest armor, the biggest shields, and the coolest spears, but his guys wear leather, and they don't really carry his colors, and they prefer smaller weapons. So this guy is just kind of like playing with the knife when you approach, and he's got a hood up.
Hello. I'm guessing y'all are packing up.
He does an open mouth grin, and you can see him. He's missing quite a few teeth, including one of his front two teeth, and you recognize him as someone who's bought poisons from you before. And he goes, Kulu.
Yes. The one and only.
What can I do for you?
What? Like I just did with you a second ago. I'm assuming you're packing things up, correct? Your plan is to leave Suderhoffen?
Aye, that's the plan.
I wanted to make an offer to Yofer, one that promises quite a bit of money.
All right. He just without turning around, he just kind of reaches back and opens the door.
Thank you. And I'm gonna just walk in.
Great. When you walk in, it seems like you've interrupted something because everyone looks at you. And Yofer is leaning over a big table with a map of Suderhoffen on it. And as he looks up to you, with one finger, he taps it and it just kind of rolls up. And he's like, "Which?"
Hello. I wasn't expecting a full meeting.
Oh, it's like a whole bunch of his Huskarls in the room, maybe a dozen.
Yeah. Do I know the name of the one who is outside?
Sure.
Do you
What's his name?
have a name, or should I make one up?
Yeah, what's his name? Tell me what his name is.
Broggy, I
Broggy.
guess.
Cool. Write that down.
Oh no. Broggy let me in. He didn't mention everyone was here. I had joked that you were packing, but it looks like you are. I had an offer to make.
He like lifts himself off the table and straightens up, and he says, "Have a seat." Ulfer, get this lady some mead.
Thank you. I'll sidle up to the table.
And one of his, colorful band of men
misfits,
brings you very meekly brings you a mug. Like, here you go, lady.
I'll admit I was hoping to have this conversation in a smaller company, but hello, everybody.
He just snaps his fingers and nods, and then one by one, they all start filtering out. A few awkwardly bumping into each other on their way through the doors.
Like, oh,
yeah. Until eventually it's just you and him.
Excuse me.
Okay, and eventually it's
I'm not Canadian, or else we would be here all day.
Yeah.
The good old Canadian.
So they've all dispersed?
Yeah. So it's just you and Yofer.
Oh, good.
And he sits down across from you.
Wonderful. Have you acquired a ship?
I assume we'll be able to hitch a ride with the rest of the migrants.
Migrants. Yes, I know. I wasn't sure if you needed funds to rent a long ship.
if she charges me for the fare, I suppose I'll have to. But I'm under the impression that it's whoever wants to go, and we want to go.
I just really want to understand what's waiting for you there. Being alive.
Yeah.
Is one. And I know you got found out on some of your tricks recently, but there's a lot more influence here. Do you have anything waiting?
Listen. My boys and I, we had a good life in Suderhoffen. And then the refugees started to pour in. Suddenly our markets, our investments started to run into some problems. And at the time, I was on board with the whole, this is my home, we should protect it. But I kept clashing with that family that sits in Modi's Bond. Quite frankly, I want to get while the getting's good. While I still have my men. And I hear there's a war on down south. I'd like to try my hand at being a pirate.
Gopher, I feel like we get along, like we have so much in common, and yet we've danced a circle around each other, just never really getting to know each other. It's amazing. And then I'm gonna drop like 20 gold on the table and be like, I'd like to build a new life.
You want to join the crew?
But here's the deal. I'm best friends with a king right now. And if I just say I'm joining the new deal out front right now, it looks really bad. It might put me in a dangerous position. So I'm going to need you to be really quiet about the recent acquisition of a medical professional. But I can clearly pay my way.
Roll something? I assume deception, but...
You're assuming deception?
I assume. I could be wrong.
You rolled a 20 on decepting the DM. Now roll whatever you want.
This campaign has taken some turns. I don't want to assume. You know what they say about when you assume.
Makes an ass of you and me.
I'll
Poor
burn...
Uma Thurman.
I'm gonna roll deception, but I'm gonna burn inspiration for advantage.
Okay. Speaking
because
of
I
Uma
would
Thurman,
like him to believe me.
She and John Cena are
I'm
gonna
giving
be in
him
Fast and
money.
Furious 9. 19. That's pretty damn good. He says, all right. Well, we're all headed to the same place. You can join up with us when we get to Yagshire.
No, I mean I'd like safe, secretive passage to Yagshire. I'm sorry, I should have spoken more plainly. I need to know when you go. And I need you to be just as discreet as you were all that time with your escape route previously. Or, well, not escape route, but you know, the inners, the bolt hole. Let's speak plainly. We're friends now.
Looking at you intently.
Yofer, I don't want to die. And I believe in Agnar. And I'm sure Bernhardt made a god, just like he's been telling everyone. But I was close to Fenrir, so I wouldn't die. But I don't.
Fenrir, let's talk about...
Oh, yeah, sure. A
You-
failure.
I think we can agree. You blinded his enemies, correct?
We like to call it the favor of the gods, or the favor of one talented witch.
Why?
It was beneficial to me for him to remain in a very comfortable position. I can't actually, I was going to continue, but that was just it.
Certainly benefit from your expertise. All right. Want to trust you. These are uncertain times.
Is there something I could provide as collateral? I understand the whole thing happening here. How about just this? I intend to find the name and empire. And there's someone there I want to reconnect to. And that's not going to happen if I stay in Suderhofen and die in some large wolf's mouth.
All right. Tonight,
Tonight.
midnight. Meet us at the pier of the Savart ship, which is his ship.
You're beginning a little pirating career? Oh,
I figured
it's
No.
so lovely to watch people reach for their dreams.
no self-respecting a pirate sails a ship he didn't steal, right?
I'm sure there's a series of movies about that.
I don't know. He always wanted the Black Pearl, though. Did he steal it? No, he didn't. 100 souls.
Wow.
Love that
An
actor.
early departure. Is there any other way besides being a financial, what's the sponsorship that your
Look,
crew needed aid?
we'll probably need aid once we get there.
All right.
And if everything goes well, I can tell you about an encounter I had. Someone we all thought was dead. The last time that Name and Empire crew was here. Might be information you're interested in.
I would be. Are you willing to speak about this before or after the ship? Because I have to go
Once we're
pack, but we
away.
might. Oh, okay. I was saying we could always meet before. It might behoove us to create a bit of an alibi prior to
Is someone
departure.
keeping track of you at night?
No, and I don't want to be. No, it just, I would, what's the word? I enjoy not being found out until I'm very far away.
Well, you
Maybe
do
it's
whatever you need to
cowardice.
do, but don't overcomplicate things. Meet us at the pier.
Okay.
Alright? He's like, there's the door. Meet you tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. Should I send your scrabbling band of boys back in?
Don't worry about them.
Okay. and then I depart.
All right. Did you want to stop by your shop?
I mean, sure, pick up my random supplies.
Okay. You head into your shop. You open the door, and waiting for you are two cloaked individuals. One, a slender but tall man, and another one appears to be a small child. But you've hung out with the Deep Gnome long enough to know that that isn't necessarily the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she turns around, she has the height of a youngster, but a very matured woman's face. That's not all you notice about both of them as they turn to face you. Their faces are spotted with different colored, one color for each, scales, with large circular scales coming out of their foreheads. And one of them says, Kulu, we have traveled a long way to find you. And that's session.
No.
Yes?
No. But but no.
What, the people at the end?
Just you can't. No, you can't. You can't end there.
That's kind of the idea.
But I mean, what do I do if I want to know what happens next?
You tune in next week.
What?
No, you better tune in next week. You're the king now.
All
I mean,
right.
if the king wants to take a week off.
So that's the session, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope those of you who are joining us for the first time had a good time, and I hope we've sufficiently grabbed you so that you can tune in next week. Oh yeah, Blinky's roped in. Yeah, so we hope to see y'all next week. If you're looking, if you want to watch some just kind of like standard games, on Saturday, at 1:00 Central. Currently I'm playing Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, unless I can get another game of last year going. And then at 6 that same day, my brother and I are playing Total War Warhammer 2. So if that's your tea, and my internet works, we'll be doing that next Saturday. Otherwise, if you're just here for D&D, hey man, that's my main show. So tune in next week. We start at 6 p.m. Central every Sunday. And this campaign is hurtling towards climax. And so it's a good time to join because it's just going to get ramped up from here. We have a backlog of combat that's gonna just start happening real soon.
The debt collectors will eventually come and demand we pay in blood.
Yeah. Although personally, I think the intrigue is at least as interesting, if not more, depending on what's happening. All right, and I'm gonna stop rambling. So I hope you have a good night, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.